Welcome back to O&M Live from the Norm Men's Oval, the Wangaratta Magpies and the Wodonga Bulldogs, our O&M Live match of the evening. Gus McLeod and Blake Panderescott, we are with you for Wangaratta Motor Group. And Dan Vaccaro, he's doing a dual role this evening, doing some special comments and taking a look at the 40-wing stat sheet. Before we do so, Dan, and get an update on who we're taking numbers on this evening, a couple of changes in jumper numbers and also a personnel change at the kennel.
Yeah, so Nick Richards is going to be wearing number 30, which is the original number, I think was 22, so he's wearing number 30 tonight. And Dan Freckle-Wortman, stalwart at Wodonga, he's out, and young Connor Brody comes in for him.
Connor Brody, a really good in-pounder. We've seen him play for Dedarang in the Tallangatta League, been the number one defender for the Bombers, particularly in their finals campaign 18 months ago. I'd expect he'll come in and do a like-for-like job with Wortman out.
Absolutely, he'll probably play maybe a little bit more rebounding than what Dan does. He's more of a pure lockdown defender, but I'm looking forward to seeing Connor Brody have another crack in the SS&A Ovens and Murray. There's also been, as you said, that's the laid out. Nick Richards with the 30. Who are we looking at on the 40-wing stat sheet, please, Dan?
Thank you, Panda. Yeah, so on the 40-wing stat sheet, we're taking Jackson Clark's numbers. First game back this year. Great to have him, a class player. Patrick Naish as well. I'm taking his numbers. Had 28 disposals last week. I'm backing him in for a 30-plus tonight. Big game for him. Cam Barrett as well, Dan Sharrick and the Preston Prince boys, Alex Federico. And for Wodonga, I'm taking Charlie Morrison, the milestone man, Josh Mathy, Matt Wilson, Jack O'Sullivan, the number 10 Jack O'Sullivan, the co-coach Jack O'Sullivan, and Adam Jorgensen as well, Gus.
Can we agree we're going to roll with Big Jack and Little Jack tonight, boys? Big Jack O'Sullivan, the centre half back, Little Jack O'Sullivan, the co-coach on baller.
Yep,
in agreement?
For those at home, as you said, Big Jack is the defender.
Yep.
Little redhead Jack. We won't go with the redhead, but Little Jack.
Little Jack.
That's the
and
co-coach.
Big Jack O'Sullivan. Same name, same spelling, no relation whatsoever.
One wears 10 and the other wears 11 as well.
Yeah, they stitched us up there with Wodonga a little bit, I reckon.
Could have had at least like a 1 and a 40 or something like that. Just
one.
No lack of cohesion between the stewards of the uniform stewards at Wodonga Bulldogs. Clearly, they've never commentated football before.
Clearly, they haven't, and they probably don't worry about it. Let's just really quickly go over some of the results. If you've just joined us, you've got in your car, you're tuning into O&M Snap Printing TV, or of course here on 2AY or 3NA. The Wangaratta Rovers, too good for the Wodonga Raiders today. We had North Albury over Corowa. Lavi with a massive upset over the Albury Tigers, which is great to see. And Yarrawonga, too good for Myrtleford. In the AFL, Dan Vaccaro?
Yeah, well, the AFL, the game earlier today against GWS and St Kilda. GWS 1-point victors over St Kilda, and the game currently in the third quarter is Carlton 50. Is leading Adelaide Crows 44.
And boys, a special around the grounds, Panda. Who are we doing around the grounds for this
Wang
evening?
Mazda.
Wang Mazda. Shout out to the team at Wang Mazda.
Kyle Tripodi is a good man.
A long way from Wangaratta is the Murray Magpies up in the Hume League. They had their first win in 4 years today.
Wow.
They knocked off Henty. There won't be enough beer at Urana Road tonight, boys, for the Murray Magpies. A big win for them.
That's fantastic. You like to see these stories where clubs who have been battling for quite a while, they get up and they get a win. So fantastic. Well done to the Murray Magpies. I believe Robbie's Brookers might have had a loss as well.
Narrow loss to Gindra. We'll keep you updated. I reckon our halftime show will constitute of a lot of score updates. If you just joined the broadcast, looks like the Wangaratta Magpies, they're going to kick to the Evans Street end of the Norm Men's Oval. The Wodonga Bulldogs will be kicking to the left of your screen to the club rooms. And the crowd is starting to build here at the Norm Men's Oval. Pen, I reckon we've got at least 1,500 in the house.
Yep, which is great to see. Hopefully they've come in from the districts. All right, Gussie, who wins?
Wangaratta Magpies, they bounce back.
Dan?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Wang.
What do you mean, unfortunately?
Well, you know,
because you're a Wodonga man.
I'm a Wodonga
Come
man,
on, Panda, give us one.
I think Wodonga just in a bit of an upset.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely rip-snorting contest. Umpire holds the Sharon aloft for A-grade oars and batteries. It's the Pies and the Dogs on O&M Live.
So the Pies 0-2, the Dogs 1-1. Let's find out how we go in 2.5 hours. Chris Knowles with the first clearance. Good work out of the middle by the Pies. They go forward. Jackson Clark in his return game for a goal inside the first 30 seconds. Welcome back, Jackson Clark. You love to see that. They get around him. He's been out with a Lisfranc foot injury. Missed the first 2 games, and he's back with a bang for the Pies. What a start.
What a start by Jackson Clark. You couldn't have scripted it any better there if you're Wangaratta Magpies, but what a finish and what a start for them. Straight out of the midfield, Gus. Exactly what they do best. That first clearance to Wang, pump it inside forward 50. Just the start they wanted.
The Wangaratta Magpies, that is Rolls-Royce footy from them. 17 seconds it took for Jackson Clark to give them the first major on the game. Traffic and contracting scoreboard. Back alive in the middle. Chris Knowles has been dominant. Give him the first two out of the ruck. Here comes Dan Sharrock for the Pies on the right boot to centre half forward. Well read on the back of the pack. The Wangaratta Magpies just sloppy exiting their stoppage there. Ball's in dispute on true centre wing. It comes backwards. Well done by Dooley Sharrock. He goes inboard with a little toe poke. Finds his way to Dane Porter, the captain. By hand, comes out towards Federico. Grandstand side. He kicks inside forward 50. Driscoll flew across the pack. Hollandine, that was Fraser. He left it at ground level. Underground was the Dean. Players dive on top of this football. 40 metres from Wangaratta Magpies goal, and they'll have a restart.
Yeah, Dan Sharrock early, guys. He's had 3 disposals in the opening minute and a half here on the 40-wing stat sheet as well.
So the umpire balls it up. Inside 50 for the Pies. Strength. Calmore out of the ruck. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Morrison in game 50. 50 wonderful games. Takes an intercept mark. And the Dogs, they clear it out to the Ovens River side. They turn it over across half forward. Really good tackle there by Jet Cassidy. He's brought down Charlie Naish, and he wins the free kick for the Dogs at half back. 1 straight 6 the Pies. The Dogs yet to score, yet to go in their own attacking half. 2 minutes, Macca's time clock opening term.
Footy on the Ovens River side of the grounds. Coming in board is Wilson for the Dogs. Little toe poke to centre half forward. Redcliffe had some work to do. Working hard now is Winter Irving. Got the outrunning handball for Gill if it can sit nicely for him. Gill gets an unfortunate bounce. Whiteside too is there in support. Matey kicks to the top of the goal square. Pinballs around. Out the back of the contest, the Magpies have numbers with Ellis. They then go short. It was a dinky little kick from Smart. And it's been chopped out nicely here in the pocket. Looks like it's building out there. And this is a really tight angle for Big O.
Yeah, he started the season reasonably slow as well as Oscar Wilding. He's only kicked the 1 goal, so this would be chock-a-block for his confidence. He'll take a pretty good effort. I reckon he's going the na-na, Gussie.
Tied up on the angle. Starts his approach from outside the boundary line. Boonana, no worries for Big O. Oscar Wilding responds beautifully for the Wodonga Bulldogs. He's kicked a steal line goal at A, and it's 1 straight apiece on the game traffic and contracting scoreboard.
Yeah, really classy finish there by Oscar Wilding, and Panda nailed it earlier. Probably had a slowish start to the year, but he is sort of adjusting to playing a third prong forward as opposed to being the main man, obviously with the inclusion of Kyle Winter Irving and Ethan Redcliffe coming back into the lineup. But a really good finish there by Dogs. They've got the opening forward inside 50 of the game for them, and a mark inside 50 as well from their first entry.
Pies just couldn't clear defensive lines there. And the Dogs, they're on the board here under lights at the Normins Oval. A wonderful day for footy and netball right across the northeastern border region. All our major leagues underway, which is great to see. Here come the Pies again. They try and clear it. Well done there. Waitai Tua involved. Sharrock was brought down. Got the hand pass out to Waitai Tua. Left foot. Chisler in board. Running onto this one is Charlie Hollandine. Made his debut last week. He takes a bounce. Little bit of foot candy. Gets caught. Has to come back inside. Here's Jackson Clark once again. He couldn't kick 2, could he? Tight against the boundary. Jackson Clark, minor score. 1-1-7 the Pies. The Dogs 1 straight 6. Game traffic and contracting scoreboard. Dan Vaccaro opening term.
Yeah, really like the toe there from Fraser Hollandine as well for elite body pack construction. But the early inside 50 count, 3 inside 50s for Wangaratta and just the 1 for Wodonga. So dominance out of the middle early and
looks like Jorgensen's kicked in from full-back and it was Paul. Little Jack's got some work to do. Snap on goal from Naish is there! What a response from the Wangaratta Magpies. They had to swoop on that. And Pat Naish, you can't give him a look inside 50. He'll make you pay. The Magpies respond instantly.
Yeah, star footballer Patrick Naish, and a great finish there. And they're just really heating up at the moment, Wang. They've got the territory battle 1 so far, 4 inside 50s in the opening 5 minutes, and a really good finish there by Patrick Naish. 3 centre clearances so far out of the middle for Wangaratta Magpies. So they're doing what they do best. They're the best clearance team in the comp, and they're showing that this evening. Wodonga need to bring their pressure game. They've got to be better around the contest. Matey, you've got Jack O'Sullivan as well. They've got to get involved in the contest more because Wangaratta out of the middle are killing them, Panda.
Yeah, the first 3 set of clearances on our 40-wing stat sheet, as Dan Vaccaro just said. Pat Naish with a crunch goal there. Sharrock, good pressure tackle on Noah Bradshaw. Their pressure needs to be up, the Wangaratta Magpies. Currently ranked 9th in that part of the game, and they go forward once again. Inside forward 50, out the back, Cal Moore is given away a free kick to Charlie Morrison for a little nudge in the back. And he's going to try and exit D50 here for the Wodonga Bulldogs, but the Magpies got a pretty good press on. Here's Gus McLeod for Wang Motor Group.
Thanks, Panda. It's a long raking kick from Morrison. Barrett went a little bit early, but got a fingertip on it. Knowles got the ball on to Ellis, who kicked it across his body up towards the half-forward line. Hollandine made a good contest, and the ball got towards his brother. Charlie goes short. He's got Dane Porter 55 from home. Newton wants it one out, and Cal's out the back. Moore has to fly high, but big Jack O'Sullivan read it beautifully like he so always does. Zoned off his opponent and intercepted, not allow Cal Moore attack at the footy. That's a contender, Panda, for a Mawson's Concrete Mark of the Day.
Yeah, NT Team of the Year up there in the Northern Territory. He's had a great off-season playing footy, and he's rested up for the first couple of weeks. There's a whistle here. I think it's a throw against the Pies. Not sure who that was on. Looks like it's Federico, and it's going to go the way here of Bradshaw. It's Noah. Goes out wide, pushing up the ground and marking's Tom Miller, the Shane Smith medalist in the Outer Eastern League. He's got the overlap runner. It's Jack O'Sullivan. Little Jack, far wing here at the Norman's Oval. Harrison Smart with a good fist there on Ethan Redcliffe, and it's out of bounds at half forward for the Wodonga Bulldogs. They trail by 7. The Pies 2-1. The Dogs 1 straight 6.
Yeah, the one positive for Wodonga is they're able to move the ball from defence to forward pretty easily. They've got some good ball users. They've just got to find the forward 50 more often.
7 minutes gone for Macca's in the first term. Johnson won the tap. Spiteri was dangerous. Pinballs around at ground level as Sharrock feeds it out towards Nace. This is Charlie.
Good kick.
He comes out to the broadcast side wing, spotted a bit of space, now they're going to use it. Ball sits nicely here for Batten. In fact, it's Richards. He's at the jumper change today, number 30 on. Deneen intercepts nicely. Kicking board is working narrowly for the Wodonga Bulldogs, and Miller got taken in a high tackle. It's against Waitai Tua, and Tom Miller's going to have the footy on the edge of the cricket pitch. So he's just going to suck some life into this contest. Wait for his Wodonga Bulldogs soldiers up the ground to find an option. In the end, he's going to retreat. He goes back to Driscoll across left half back.
So Jackson Clark and also Paddy Naish with the 2 goals for the Pies. 1 to Wilding. Early stages opening term here on OMFNL Live. 2A wide, 3A. And here come the Pies again through Boardington. He's had a boot change. He's wearing the orange ones this week. It's been raked across half back here by Jack O'Sullivan. Big Jack for the Wodonga Bulldogs. Switches the footy broadcast side half back. It's Liam Andrews. He's got a great left slipper. Beautiful kick down the line. Noah Spiteri just couldn't quite hold on. Good pressure from Naish. Look at the bursting speed here by Jackson Clark. Forward hand pass was a bit errant. And Josh Mathy hacks it to the middle of the ground. Naish tried to go off the ground. Federico for the Pies. Floating kick inside 50. And right down big Michael Driscoll for an intercept mark for the Dogs. They trail by 7.
It's been a really good part of the game for the Wodonga Bulldogs. They've allowed that zone-off defender to impact the contest on more occasions than not. They're going to come in, Bulldogs, via Jorgensen. Matt Wilson, forward side of the cricket pitch, inside 50. Redcliffe was the target. Plucked out nice there by Tilly, working his way into this Wangaratta Magpies outfit. He kicks long down the line, looking for Knowles. Miller was Patton Mosel as he kicks to half forward. Working hard here is Harry Hewitt. Gets a kick up towards half forward. Morrison and Moore both get a hand on it, and both are happy to see it go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. For Elite Building and Construction, some special comments from Dan Vaccaro.
Yeah, well, you just saw both teams able to move the ball really fluidly throughout the middle of the ground there, so that's a real positive for Wodonga. But again, forward 50 counts a concern. 8 inside 50s for Wang, 3 for Wodonga.
2-1 the Pies, 1 straight the Dogs. Little Jack applies a tackle there on Richards, who got his hand pass out to Jackson Clark. Off a step, too far out to score. Kicks it to the hot spot. Getting hands, so that one was Liam McVeigh, not able to bring it in. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Jackson Clark does not look like he's missed a minute of football, fellas. He's up to 4 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet and an opening goal of the game as well.
We know he's super damaging. He can play anywhere, Jackson Clark. He played at half back, in the middle, and forward at times as well. Watch Cal Moore to take this out of the ruck. He does. He hand passes it back to that man, Jackson Clark. The Pies inside forward 50. Standing start kick to the top of the square. Hacking that one out of mid-air was Fraser Hollandine. It was a good smother from Deneen. There on Liam McVeigh. A sling tackle against Mitch Deneen. And the Pies going to line up directly in front, 30 out.
Umpire signalling to the Wodonga Bulldogs troops that it was a two-motion tackle, picked him up and dumped him. That's the letter of the law there, Panda. And the Wangaratta Magpies, if they get chances like this regularly, they will make the Bulldogs pay.
So Liam McVeigh, as we said in pre-game, a little bit of a slow start. He did hit the scoreboard a fair bit in 2023, and he's hit it again this year. And they get to Liam McVeigh. So the Pies kick their third. 3-1-19, the Dogs 1 straight 6. That's on our game traffic and contracting scoreboard. Opening term for A-grade oils and batteries.
Yeah, good finish there by McVeigh, and a little bit unfortunate for Wodonga, but the rule is, and the umpire clearly explained that to Mitch Deneen as well, but that's their 8th inside 50 for the quarter, Wang, so they're playing really good football. Jackson Clark, first game back, 5 disposals and a goal. Patrick Nace up to the 3 disposals and a goal. Dan Sharrock has got leather poisoning, 5 disposals, and Federico 4 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet. For Wodonga, Charlie Morrison 3 disposals, Matt Wilson, Adam Jorgensen 2 apiece.
I feel sorry for the boys that played North Albury 2s last week, coming up against Jackson Clark. He looks absolutely scintillating. Driscoll got the clearing kick for the Dogs, but it went laterally to true centre wing, and it spills right out of bounds in front of us here on O&M Live. Appeals. Has umpire paid deliberate?
He has. That's
He's paid deliberate and a 50. I haven't seen that in O&M.
No, that is the first deliberate not a word of I've seen.
I saw a few last year, but that's the first one I've seen this year. Wow.
Big ruckman who got kicked, very Bingo Pies contest forms. Big Jack O'Sullivan, he impacted it. McVeigh's there, he can snap across his body. McVeigh saved on the line by Morrison, and he kicks dangerously. Dane Porter intercepts. Uppy transition footy from the Wodonga Bulldogs, and Dane Porter is going to kick this one from, I'm going to say 25 metres out, boys, but it's a pretty tight angle.
Yeah, it was a bit of an interesting kick, wasn't it, Dan, from Charlie Morrison coming out of defence, but Dane Porter has a chance to make him pay again.
Distance won't trouble the old fella, but the angle might. It's a long measured approach. He kicks through it, and it's to the near side. It's going to stay there for a minor score. Wangaratta Magpies 3-2-20. The Bulldogs 1 straight 6. That's on the game traffic and contracting scoreboard. We played 12, almost 13 minutes for Maccas.
Liam Andrews with the kick-in duties there for the Dogs. It was, great mark. A Mawson's concrete mark of the day there by Big Jack. Great to see him back in this Dogs outfit. In defence, always looks safer with him playing. Jack O'Sullivan couldn't quite mark. He had to go back to Big Jack, and then Liam Andrews comes and gives him a hand and hoifs it down the wing. High up and under. Good luck marking that. Boarding on with the fist, down to Smart. Back out of the stoppage. Quick hat kick forward by the Pies. Clark's in this contest, so is Juice. Federico goes out really wide looking for Smith. And in the end, the boundary line wins out. Bit of a stalemate on the far side of the ground. The Pies have come to play 3-2-20 over the Dogs 1 straight 6. A-grade oils and batteries opening term. Dan Vaccaro for 40 winks.
Yeah, for 40 winks, it's 9 inside 50s now for Wang and only the 3 for Wodonga.
And of course, if they get 9 inside 50s inside 14 minutes of footy, they're going to turn a lot of that into the goals on the Wangaratta Magpies. The football's on the oven side of the ground. Looks like Spiteri is going to get a free kick here. He is, and he's not overly happy about it, Noah Spiteri. Giving Charlie Nash a little bit of feedback about his infringement. Spiteri chips short, and he finds little Jack O'Sullivan, the co-coach of the Wodonga Bulldogs. Best on ground last week, Panda.
He was fantastic in his delivery inside 50 as well.
Noah Spiteri getting some attention off the ball. Inside 50 go the Wodonga Bulldogs. Barrett mops up as he always does and hits a penetrating kick towards Liam McVeigh on the edge of the square. The Magpies can slingshot the footy. McVeigh's booming left boot wasn't his best kick. Tom Johnson read it nicely. And going short, they find Charlie Morrison in game number 50 for the Dogs.
Yeah, he got it from Greenhill. He kicks to half forward, just through the midst of Jet Cassidy at the last minute. He'll be pretty annoyed he didn't mark that one. 60 out from home, and it's out of bounds far side.
Yeah, the 50 gamer Charlie Morrison, he's up to 5 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet. You can see his rebound from defence has been really good early on in this quarter.
So, toss back in, 60 around from the Dogs' goal. Cal Moore once again allowed to grab it out of the ruck. His hand pass was intercepted by Josh Mathy. Gets it back in a quick 1-2 from Little Jack. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Wilding had 2 to beat. Redcliffe out the back, swoops and goals. That's the sort of stuff that Redcliffe can do. He's there at the right time and he kicks through a steel line goal today. The Dogs get one back, 14 plays 20.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter, Ethan Redcliffe, and you just get the feeling you see his skill showcase so often. If they just leave him a little bit one out, create a little bit of space for Redcliffe, I know we talked about it earlier in the game, he's going to convert those chances he gets up forward. A really dangerous forward line with Wodonga. They don't need a whole lot of opportunity. They've only had 4 inside 50s, but they've managed to kick 2 goals. They've just got to do some work out of the centre clearances. They've only had the 1 centre clearance. Wang Magpies have had the 3 in this quarter. They are on top in the midfield.
8-point lead to the Wangaratta Magpies on the game traffic in contracting scoreboard. Mathy, this is Josh, got the ball to centre half forward, but sitting in the hole nicely. The Wangaratta Magpies have numbers. Naish kicks out wide. Lavity's got some work to do. Well done there by Jorgensen. Clark got a little dinky kick out the back, but Driscoll's there for the Dogs. His handball went searching for Josh Mathy and Aidan Tilley. He's helped towards the boundary line there by young Jack Mathy, and the umpire's going to call for the footy. So good to see the Bulldogs continuing to roll the dice here, Panda.
First quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries. Gus McLeod and Blake Panda-Escott with you for Wang Motor Group. Well, getting one around the chops there was Josh Mathy. He lets Dane Porter know about it, and then tried to play for a 50. Don't mind it. And then Dane Porter chucks it 10 metres in the air. That's a little bit of gamesmanship here, Gus.
Yeah, that's 320 games of experience just coming out there, Panda.
So Josh Mathy with another 40 wings disposal. Centre wing broadcast side. Kicks him board. It's a good one. I reckon it came off the skull of Wilding.
Yeah, it's a Falcon.
Little Jack gets swung around in a 360. Able to get a hand pass out at the last minute. Coming through quick here was Deneen, caught holding the ball. Good tackle by the Pies, and they're away off half-back through Hewitt. He goes to the far side.
Yeah, not the best kick. McVeigh's got some work to do. O'Sullivan, this is Big Jack. He measures and he kicks him a right foot up towards Bradshaw. Bradshaw's mark. This is Noah, true centre wing on the outer side of the ground. Just taking a bit of sting out of the game here, Dan.
Yeah, they are, and how good of a player is that Jack O'Sullivan? Big Jack, as we call him. He's been so important off that half-back line for Wodonga. He's going to be important going, rebounding and getting it into their 50.
So the Dogs go forward here. Richards just left the footy behind, boarding on, as he so often does. Helps out. Barrett and Dan Sharrock. Hurried kick out of defence is going to work. It's in the arms here of Fraser Ellis. Centre wing. Ovens River side of the ground. Dark in the gum trees over there, Gussie. And he comes inboard. They want to switch the footy. Cam Barrett comes out wide here to Aidan Tilley. And he goes short to Richards. He's got the overlap runner here, Harry Smart. Doesn't use him. Goes down the line. Jackson Clark, another 40 wing stand.
Yeah, 7 disposals and a goal now for Jackson Clark.
He's got the footy in front of our broadcast position as he goes short to Tilley. This is a part of the game that's new from Tilley. Against the Rovers, he was sort of sitting as a real central defender. Now he's trying to work his way up the ground and have an impact. He finds Charlie Naish, who goes by hand. This is Dan Sharrock. Low chiselling kick. It's a nice looking one. Kicks inside 50 was Smart. And the mark's been taken by Dane Porter. I reckon this is Port's third or fourth mark inside 50, Panda.
Yep, he goes long.
He does. Top of the goal square. Juice is the target. Juice against Brody and Deneen. Happy to take it across the face for a minor score. The Magpies move to 3-3. The Dogs 2 straight. 18.5 minutes gone for Maccas.
9-point lead to the Wangaratta Magpies. We'll go to Dan for 40 winks soon. Good opening quarter of footy before the dew sets in here at the Normins Oval. We'll get an around the grounds update soon and a Ray White rural netball update. Pull kick out of defence. It's been marked here by Harry Hewitt for the Pies, who started pretty well. He's too far out to score. His kick smothered and he gets it back like a penalty shootout. Followed up his work. Good kick from Knowlesy inboard to Federico. Still too far out to score the Pies. So the Prince goes inboard to the hot spot. Likes a one. Tilly. He's on and misses. He
Go back. Responsibility there from Tilly. 20.
Ovens River side of the ground. The Magpies have numbers everywhere. They're going to come inboard. Porter and Johnson. The two veterans go at it. Little Jack O'Sullivan got a toe poke forward. Tilly's there once again. Now it's Naish. He goes out wide. He's got Whiteside Tua. So Tua's going to go with a little left foot kick. Works out okay. The Magpies have the ball on the outer side of the ground. They're going to come inboard. Mathy's there. This is Jack. He goes short to O'Sullivan. Little Jack kicks to centre half forward. Redcliffe's the target. Charlie Naish came through and made an impact on the contest. Knowles is there. Looks laterally. His kick was poor. Gill. Handballs over the top. Dogs. Josh Mathy runs to 45 and kicks a beautiful goal. It's a Mawson's concrete play today. The Dogs, they get 2 on the trot. And we're back to under a kick as the margin.
Yeah, classy finish there by Josh Matthew. He's up to the 5 disposals now on the 40-wing stat sheet, and a really classy goal there. He's not the greatest kick in the O&M, but at goal he's generally very, very precise. And they've evened up the contest now, Wodonga. 9 inside 50s to 11, so it is a very, very even contest. The defenders are doing really well. The 50-gamer, Charlie Morrison, he's up to the 6 disposals, and his rebound off the back 50, probably about 3 or 4 times this quarter, so super important for the Dogs going forward.
So 3-4-22 the Pies, 3 straight the Dogs. 4-point ball game. You can't turn the ball over in those positions. You just get scored against in this competition. The Pies go forward. It's been marked by Hewitt. Plays on straight away. Jackson Clark streaming through the middle of the Norm Inns. Kicks inboard looking for Hollandine. That was Charlie. Out the back. More. Snap on goal. I reckon it almost hit the bottom of the post. It's gone across the face. Dangerous position. Minor score. The Pies move to 3-5. The Dogs 3 straight. It's a 5-point ball game as we tick up towards the 22nd minute mark for Maccas in the opening term. Around
the grounds for Wangaratta Mazda. 2-point lead to Carlton over the Crows. 11 minutes to go in the third term. We'll keep you updated with that. We'll also chase up some netball scores from the Wangaratta show courts here. As the ball's in the hands of Greenhill, who kicks long down the wing. Good leading mark has been taken by Oscar Wilding. He's a long way from home, Big O. Kicked a brilliant goal to start this first term. Umpire's going to call him to play on and kick to centre half forward. Flying high was Tilly. Barrett stayed at ground level. Switches the ball dangerously. Well done by Redcliffe. In fact, it was Spiteri who made a big contest. Comes out wide to Jackson Clark. The Magpies have numbers. They're going to mop up here, and the ball's in the hands of Sharrock. Inboard, dangerous kick. Driscoll could have given away a free kick. Umpire said nothing in it. Little Jack got taken high. Spitting through the centre of the ground now is Wilson. And he pumps it long inside 50.
Big torpedo punt. Redcliffe just misread it. Out the back, Spiteri. He's always dangerous. Good tackle by Charlie Nace, but he didn't have the ball. Noah just dropped the ball at the crucial stage. He made sure the umpire saw it, and he's going to line up for a shot 30 metres out.
Yeah, that's footy IQ there from Noah. He knew he was going to get tackled, so he just sort of let go of the footy and then drew the tackler in and won the free kick, and he loves these angles, Panda.
He does. He played a very, very good elimination final at this ground against the Rovers. I reckon he kicked 3 or 4. So he's tied up against the pocket. He's going to go the traditional drop punt as Noah. Started season 2024 in fine style, and he does so there. A great finish by Noah Spiteri. And the Dogs are in front by a point. 4 straight 24. The Pies 3-5-23. That's on the game traffic and contracting scoreboard as we tick up towards quarter time.
Yeah, you're right, Panda. And just a bit of a word of advice there from Noah to his direct opponent. I can't quite see who that is there, but they're just going head-to-head all quarter, so that's going to be an interesting watch. But a really good finish this quarter from Wodonga. They've gone inside forward 50 10 times to Wangaratta's 12 now, so really, really evened up the contest. Charlie Morrison, he's had the 6 disposals. Jack O'Sullivan's been brilliant, 7 disposals. But for Wangaratta, it's Jackson Clark, 9 disposals and a goal, and Dan Sharrock, 8 disposals on the
last 3, the Dogs.
They've been very good. 7 in this term for both sides. It's a good game of footy so far. We're back live in the middle. Sharrock got wrapped up in a tackle, got it to Knowles, who just pumped it long down the line and said, have a go at that one, McVeigh. Liam, handballs, inboard, Clark. This is his bread and butter to the big sticks. Just swung across the face late as he went the banana option. Greenhill tied up in the pocket. Umpire said he took it out of bounds for a boundary throw. And I tell you what, boys, Jackson Clark is playing like a footballer that has not missed a game of football forever.
He's looking as fresh as a daisy, Gus. 10 disposals and a goal in the opening term for Jackson Clark.
Not sure why I didn't go the traditional drop punt there at that pace as well. I reckon he would have put it through the big sticks. Here come the Pies again. Oh, big contest between Spiteri and Federico at half back. And Federico's down. The ball sort of just ekes forward to the centre of the ground, and Barrett picks it up for the Pies, hoifs it into attack. Lots of numbers around this ball. Brody with his first touch, out the back to Deneen, and he goes out wide to Cassidy. Just dropped the mark at half forward, half back I should say. Noah Bradshaw wins it back, gives it back to Cassidy. Centre wing, goes down the line, good fist from Boarding Non. The Dogs would be happy to see this out. And it is, again, a boundary throw in. Far side, dark here at the Normans Oval opening term, all thanks to A-grade oils and batteries.
What a contest there by Federico and Noah. That is exactly what you want to see in nighttime footy. That was brilliant. Wodonga just being able to surge the ball forward and run in waves to get the ball inside their forward 50. A great effort. They find themselves at half forward.
I know that's what you want to see, Dan, but I want to see the football and the players because I'm struggling on that far side. We've played 25 minutes for Maccas. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here on O&M Live. Redcliffe almost gave away a free kick there. Across half-back was Clark. Brings the football out to our broadcast side wing. The Magpies have some work to do and the ball's in the hands of Richards. He shovels one back. Nice little dinky kick up towards half-forward. McVeigh got some work to do. He was wrapped up in a Bradshaw tackle. Ball spills out of bounds. Gill tried to keep it alive, but the umpire said it spilled across for a boundary throw-in. Right in front of our broadcast position, the Dogs lead 4 straight. The Pies 3-5-23. We're doing it for game, traffic and contracting. And we've played 26 minutes in this first quarter for A-grade oils and batteries.
A-grade netball score here at the showgrounds. The Pies have defeated the Dogs by 20 goals, 61-41. Extracting it was Naish. His hand pass, though, was a bit errant. And Jorgensen falls over at half forward for the Dogs. Here come the Pies. Chris Knowles, nice little kick to centre wing. Dane Porter played in front. He did well with a second effort. Hand pass it forward to Fraser Ellis, who kicks to half forward. Will it sit for Fraser Hollandine? It does. Left foot snap inside 50. Resting forward, Cal Moore. Too strong against Morrison. And he's going to line up 25 metres out slide angle.
And as a key forward, he's going to really appreciate that delivery from Fraser Hollandine. He gave it enough time in the air and kicked it to the advantage of Callum Moore. We know he hasn't loved his delivery the first couple of weeks, but if he gets more of that, he'll be a very happy full forward.
So big Cal Moore, 81 goals last year to win the Doug string. And he's nailed one early here in the opening term. So the Pies bite back on quarter time. 29-24, they take a 5-point lead as we've just heard the siren blast here at the showgrounds, Normans Oval. I tell you what, boys, a pretty good quarter of footy. 8 goals in it. It's a little bit dewy, but we'll take it. 29-24, the Pies in front here on O&M Live. 2AY, 3&E, and O&M Snap Printing TV. Hope you're enjoying the pictures at home. We'll take a break. After this, we'll dissect the opening term. On O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. .0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
Welcome back to the Wangaratta Showgrounds, the Norm Mins Oval. The Wodonga Bulldogs and the Wangaratta Magpies for our O&M Live match of the day. 29 plays 24. The Magpies over the Bulldogs. Dan Vaccaro, who were our quarters best in that quarter? Because we had some blistering performances from a few individuals.
You nailed it, Gus. We did. Look, for Optus quarters best for Wangaratta, it's Jackson Clark. 12 disposals and a goal. He has been unbelievable. Has not missed a beat since his little hiatus from footy. So he has been fantastic this quarter. Also, Dan Sharrock has had the 9 disposals to go with him. So their midfield is on top. And then for Wodonga Bulldogs, little Jack O'Sullivan has been great. 8 disposals. Big Jack O'Sullivan has also been great down back for Wodonga. But I've really liked little Jack O'Sullivan's work, Gus.
I thought for Cavalier Holmes in that quarter as well, Dane Porter was pretty good at half forward. He had 3 or 4 shots
Brilliant.
on goal and set a few up.
Took 3 marks inside 50 as well, Dane Porter, that quarter.
Also liked the quarter of Dan Sharrock a little bit. What were his numbers, Dan, as well?
9 disposals for Dan Sharrock. If you're
Thought he
listening,
got busy.
Panda.
Thought he got busy.
I thought a key area of the game that the Wangaratta Magpies had the advantage in was in the ruck. I thought big Chris Knowles has been really influential, giving the Magpies first into the footy, but also reckon he's getting involved around the ground, Dan.
Yeah, he is, and Chris Knowles is a really classy ruckman, and Wodonga don't really have that sort of clear ruckman. I know that Driscoll does that job, and he is good at nullifying, but they don't have a clear ruckman, so Chris Knowles is in for a big day if he stays on top of things.
So Panda, A-grade netball scores well for Ray White-Rule. Just repeating that one for our listeners.
Wangaratta Magpies 61 to the Dogs 41. So the Magpies remain undefeated alongside Cora Rutherglen and also the Raiders, the 3 undefeated sides in the A-grade netball.
Probably a story that isn't spoken about enough is the resurgence of Cora Rutherglen and Sophie Hanrahan in their A-grade netball program. Whilst the footy team aren't getting the results, the A-grade netball are flying, Panda.
Yeah, absolutely. They won by 9 goals over a young North Albury side today, and the fact that they've moved to 3-0 is fantastic for the SS&A Ovens and Murray, and well done to Soph and everybody down there at Corowa.
Couple of quick stats on the 40-wing stat sheet, Dan. Who's leading the way?
Yeah, well, for the team stats, it's the inside 50 count that Wayne's leading the way, so 14 inside 50s for them to Wodonga's 10. So it did even up around that quarter. But as we mentioned, Jackson Clark, 12 disposals, Dan Sharrock, 9, and Federico, the Preston Prince, has had the 7 respectively as well. And for Wodonga, Charlie Morrison, 6 disposals. Jack O'Sullivan has been fantastic, 8. Adam Jorgensen's a player I want to see a bit more of. He's only touched the pill twice that quarter as well, Gussie. So we need to see a little bit more out of Adam Jorgensen.
A role change
I was going to
this
say, I
year
don't know if I like it.
for Adam. He's gone back to half back. He got a few numbers there last week, but I like him forward of the footy. Here's going for Jaco Wodonga.
Thanks, Panda. Give it to Knowles in the ruck once again, but Michael Driscoll did some good follow-up work and we'll have a restart. About 5 metres to the left of the centre circle. 5-point ball game. It favours the Magpies here for CMV Truck and Bus. Whistle, free kick. It's going to go the way of the Magpies, and they're going to get an advantage. Federico with a high up and under. Kicks out wide to Jesse Smith. He's got that matchup on Jorgensen. Couldn't quite get clean possession. Head over the football was Jude Newton. Out of bounds for a boundary throw in. For the Wangaratta Magpies.
Yeah. Alex. Really good work.
Come through and win a free kick. No, opposite direction. The Magpies go forward. Advantage taken. Kick to half forward. Juice. I thought he did enough to juggle that one. Yeah, fell to ground in the end, and the umpire called play on. Jorgensen calmly out of defence. Stretching for that one was Cassidy, and then pirouetted out of traffic. Driscoll, that's Michael, sweeps it out really wide to Jorgensen at half back. And in the end, well fisted over and out by Fraser Ellis. Boundary throw in. Centering far side. The Pies still lead by 5 points in this second quarter for Jacob.
You talk about Chris Knowles' influence. He had a really good quarter, but I think that Driscoll has been good. He's a competitor, so he'll go all day. He just needs to nullify his influence.
Around the grounds, Wang Mazda. The Crows lead by a goal over Carlton.
Love to see him get up.
Would love to see the Crows get up, Panda. Well, a few Murray in the Crows. Paddy Parnell, Nick Murray and co. Bulldogs move the footy to half forward on the Ovens River side of the ground. Kyle Winter-Irving left trailing his opponent there. He's a player that needs to work his way into this game. Federico, a bit too much on it for him. Sharrett came through. Federico had the fumbles up. Matey got taken high. In fact, it's Jorgensen. And it's a free kick that's going to go against Federico.
Must be listening to me, Adam Jorgensen. He's had 3 disposals already this quarter, so he's come to light.
Stuff you boys, he says.
Yeah, what would we know? Here's Jorgensen. He's going to send it long inside 50 for the Dogs. Flying high. Good mark taken by Tilly. I thought he had a fair piece of that, boys. Umpire said no. And as a result, he swarmed on by Wodonga Bulldogs and will ball it up 25 directly in front.
They trail by 5, the Dogs, 29-24. Ball up inside their forward 50. Noah Bradshaw brought down at a strong tackle. Rinse and repeat. Another stoppage, 30 out for the Wodonga Bulldogs. They won this fixture last year. They played some reasonably good footy last week against Myrtleford, and they'll be looking to cause a bit of an upset down here under lights tonight. Hacked out of there by Chris Knowles, who's playing some game. Down the wing, Newton caught behind. Ball spills to the deck. Plays dive in. Well intercepted by Riley Gill. Juice chased him down, coming through. Smartly here is Charlie Hollandine. A beautiful left foot kick with poise and precision. And wide tie Tua marks right in front of our commentary position, broadcast wing.
Best name in football, Panda. I'm going to stick with that, our man White Type.
Agreed.
Have to say his full name every time.
White Type, man White Type.
Agreed.
Have to say his full name every time.
White Tie Tua. He's going to send a left foot kick inside forward 50. Moore's the target. Got a few to beat. Driscoll got a fist. Hollandine kicks on goal. Brilliant. Goal of the day for Steeline, coming via Fraser Hollandine. And the Hollandine boys are wreaking havoc inside forward 50 for the Pies.
Yeah, really good finish there by Fraser Hollandine, and Wangaratta a really classy entry inside forward 50 as well. And it's a really, really good contest to watch on the eye as well. So the score 5-5-35 plays Wodonga 4-24. So a really, really competitive contest and a really good start there from Wangaratta. Dan Sharrock, he's got his hands on the footy early. Alex Federico as well. Adam Jorgensen, he's had 3 disposals for Wodonga, and Josh Matey early touch.
Points for CMV Truck and Bus to the Wangaratta Magpies. Last 2 through Moore and Fraser Hollandine. Started the season brilliantly. Kicked 5 goals in 3 games, says Fraser. Looks to be a mainstay in this Wangaratta Magpies outfit. Ethan Redcliffe looks like he's had a spell on the ball. He won a free kick, went short to Driscoll, who goes inside forward 50. Spiteri got really high, brought the ball to ground. He'll go back and watch that one on the replay, Noah. Tilly shoveled it out the back. Ellis and Pat Naish link up by hand. Naish comes really aggressively in the middle of the ground. It's a poor kick, turned over. Jack Matey, true centre half forward, kicks the Dogs back into attack, and standing in the hole, Brantley, just like a player who now plays at Rutherglen, Dylan Van Berlo. It's Aidan Tilly with a brilliant intercept mark, a Mawson's concrete mark of the day. And the umpire brings you back and says, hang on, you played on too quick, you're not behind your mark.
Definitely made sure he earned it too, big Tommy Johnson. Big Kyle went to Irving, sorry.
Naish kicks long down the line, finds a teammate. Looks like it's Big Juice a long way from home. Kicks the ball in towards a bit of space. Ellis doesn't get a favourable bounce, but he can try and toe poke it forward. Bradshaw dived on top of his back. Umpire saw it that way. Free kick to Fraser Ellis, who's a kick away from an entry inside 50 for the Pies. Got it in front of Bay 13. Right half forward for the Wangaratta Magpies. Little chip kick, it's okay. Ball's been marked. He's going to get it back once again. Is Ellis inside 50. Driscoll in the hole. Driscoll in the hole. Taking a good, strong intercept mark is big Michael Driscoll. Kicks laterally, Clark. Probably could have had a chance to mark it. Opted for the fist. He'll win his team a boundary throw-in deep inside forward 50. That's just a coach killer there from Michael Driscoll.
Yeah, just mistakes that you can't make, Michael Driscoll. He's been competitive at times, but you just can't make those mistakes in the back pocket.
He's in the ruck now against Callum Moore, coming through the Preston Prince Federico. Jack O'Sullivan and Dane Porter just ran into each other. Two meatheads there, which is what we like to see. Going hard at the pill. And we've got a ball up just inside forward 50 here for the Pies. They've kicked the last two through Moore and also Fraser Hollandine.
What's happening off the ball here, Panda?
Yeah, a little bit of a wrestle. You keep your eye on that. It's Paddy Nation, Noah Spiteri.
Been going at it all game, these two.
Charlie Nation, I should say.
Spiteri in a punch-up, Panda. Wouldn't read about it.
No, not with those pipes. It's tossed up. 50 out from the Dogs' goal. Federico roving Brantley. Sorry, Pies' goal. Kicks a high one. Inside 50. Running onto this one. Jesse Smith. Too easy. A steel line goal today. A calm finish from the top of the goal square. And the Pies have got 3 on the trot. They move to 41. The Dogs 24, Dan Vaccaro.
Yeah, you nailed the call, Panda. It was too easy by Wangaratta there. So to get it inside that 50, they need to be a little bit more resilient around the half-back line and make sure they don't get those really deep entries for Wangaratta. But they've started hot. 4 inside 50s for them. Dan Sharrock and Alex Federico, early touches for them. Jackson Clark, Patrick Nation, Cam Barrett, all touching the pill respectively as well. So a really hot start to this quarter for Wang.
7 minutes gone for Maccas, and it's a game-high lead of 17 points going the way of the Magpies. Back live in the centre, Mayfi. That was Josh, wrapped up in a Federico tackle. Spills out, Michael Driscoll had to be clean and he fumbled. Now the support arrives for both teams and will ball it up on the edge of the square. The inside 50s this quarter, Dan Vaccaro, thanks to its friends at 40 Winks.
Yeah, so it's 5 inside 50s for Wangaratta and just the 3 for Wodonga, Gus.
And as for the game?
For the game is 19-13.
So the Magpies getting the upper hand on inside 50s as well as the scoreboard. They lead by 17 points. Really congested footy on our broadcast side wing, grandstand side of the showgrounds.
Good quick mass, Dan. I like that.
Thanks, Panda.
Just testing him out, our man. He wants to be the number 1. Panda, we've got to make sure he earns it. In the centre, Little Jack. He got a Falcon. Then regathered to the footy once again. Threw it on the boot. Kicked it up towards high half forward. Right done by Charlie Naish. Wrapped up in a tackle. Pat Naish is there. So is Richards. Shovels it inboard to Dooley Sharrock. They're going to try and go laterally is Charlie Naish. Dangerous kick intercepted. The Bulldogs have numbers inside 50. Poor kick. Winter Irving got some work to do, the big fella. Has support from Redcliffe. Dangerous in these spots. Well done by Batten. The Magpies are going to exit D50 with an ordinary Batten kick out wide to Hollandine.
This is Charlie. Had to get rid of it pretty quick because the Dogs were hunting him. Jesse Smith kicks to half forward down the far wing. One-on-one contest here between Hollandine and big Jack O'Sullivan, who bear hugs him and tackles him. Wants a free kick for holding the ball. The umpire just calls play on. The Dogs win it back. Jack Mayfi, bit of a 1-2 here with Johnson, who goes down the wing. Look like they got a number spare here. It's Matty Wilson. Wants to come inboard and bite it off an aggressive kick just over the hands there of Gill. Coming back in numbers was Sharrock and also Porter. Sharrock's hand pass was poor. Jack O'Sullivan, Little Jack, wins a high free kick at half forward.
He's going to go short or 50?
50.
50-metre penalty.
I reckon it's a free kick up the ball. And it's a free kick here to Noah Spiteri, Dan. I reckon
is.
it's off the ball against Charlie Naish.
Yeah, they were just wrestling again, and obviously the umpire's seen something from Charlie Naish and he's paid the free kick, but these two have been button heads all day, and this will be a little win here from Noah. You just get the feeling that there's a couple little errors from Wodonga that are starting to pay dividends at both ends of the ground. We saw one in the defensive 50, and we saw one up forward where Wang were able to read. So, massive goal here for Wodonga if they can kick it.
Brad Melville told us in the pre-game they want to play a braver style of football. It's worked in some instances. This one isn't the so. Spiteri kicks on goal, and he's happy to provide a bit of feedback to the Magpies. Spiteri kicks his second, margins back to 11 points for CMV Truck and Bus.
Yeah, good finish there by Noah, and he's just letting Charlie Naish know, and there's just a little bit of boil over there, but no, look, really good finish. And that's, as I said, that's a big goal for Wodonga because they just had a really poor period there for about 5 or so minutes, Gus, where they probably turned the ball over in their forward 50 and let Wang rebound, and then made a critical mistake up in the defensive 50. So good finish from them. That's their 4th inside 50 for this quarter.
They've got their kicking boots on, the Dogs. They haven't the first 2 weeks. They're 5 straight, so they must have been doing a fair bit of practice during the week. And here they come again through little Jack O'Sullivan. Links up with a 1-2. Set sail from 40. Disappointing finish. I reckon it's out of bounds on the full in the end. There was a wrestle between Noah Spiteri and Charlie Naish again. Slow to get up. Charlie Naish repels. A beautiful kick to half back. They've exited D50. Tilly marks, pirouettes, and then comes back inboard to Dan Sharrock. So the Pies by 11, 6-5, plays 5 straight. Second term for Jaco Albury-Wodonga.
And whilst it hasn't always come off for the Wangaratta Magpies, they're playing a more characteristic brand of football. They're playing a brave attacking brand, moving the footy well with pace. Callum Moore's marked in front of the interchange gates here at the Normans Oval, working his way up the ground on the receiving end of a Barrett kick. Moore kicks to a one-on-one. Johnson had the front spot. Newton got there late. Connor Brodie takes it across the paint for a restart. Elite Building and Construction. Dan Vaccaro, talk us through what's happening in the second term.
Yeah, well, it's a really even contest now. Wodonga have had a really good period, so 5 inside 50s for Wang and 5 for Wodonga as well. And Jack O'Sullivan is dominating 4 disposals this quarter.
12 minutes gone. Second term for Maccas. And we've got a ball up at half forward for the Wangaratta Magpies, who have had all individual goal kickers. Not one dual goal kicker so far in this game other than Noah Spiteri for the Dogs. Cal Moore just looks so dangerous in the ruck. How many times have we seen him grab it out of the ruck tonight, Gus?
Oh, not enough for mine. I reckon he's going to try and get a bit creative like that, Panda.
Beautiful tap over the back to Clark. On to Federico, who's going to chase after his own footy. Out of bounds, 40 are out from the Pies goal.
I think both sides are playing a really attractive brand of football here early days, boys. We're seeing a game that's got 6 goals to one team, 5 to the other, and it's producing some really good football to watch. Both teams happy to take the game on. Throw
in. Moore once again trying to grab it out of the ruck inside forward 50. Kicks to the top of the goal square. Good hand pass from McVeigh to Jesse Smith. And there's a whistle, and it's a free kick here to Riley Gill, who was taken high off the ball. For the Dogs, deep in defence. They trail by 11 points. Evenly poised ball game in this second term. Tommy Johnson played on and Juice caught him napping. I was about to hand over to you, Gussie, and then Juice did that.
Well, Tommy Johnson only took 1 step off his mark to build some momentum into his kick, and that's a breakdown in communication. The Wodonga Bulldogs and Tommy Johnson, they'd be livid that there was no talk to Big Tom that Juice was hot on his heels.
So he crept up on him like a librarian, as Dennis Kennedy would say. Juice passes off, sits in the hole, and Fraser Hollandine pulls it in. He's already kicked 1, Fraser, and he's going to line up 35-40 out down on a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, really good mark there by Fraser Hollandine, but you just saw that chase down from Newton. He hasn't had the impact that he's wanted in the first quarter in a bit, but what a fantastic run down there, and that's just experience and strength for Michael Newton.
Playing the best game of footy I've seen him play is Fraser Hollandine. He is just playing a brilliant game of football. And to be fair, he was really good against the Rovers as well, really emerging himself as a premier small forward in the comp.
Yep, mainstay in this Wangaratta Magpies lineup now. And when he does not miss like that, gun barrel straight, he's going to play for a very long time. So he's got his second. The Pies move out to a 17-point lead, 47 plays 30 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard as we tick up towards
Oh, Panda,
You've stopped the clock.
Well, the clock stopped. The battery died. 14 and a half for Maccas.
You're going to have to go to the back and get a new battery, Gus.
I feel like I'm carrying the team here, boys. But no, look, a really good finish there.
Dual rolls tonight, Dan, of course.
No, I've got the dual rolls, but yeah, what a finish there by Wang. And Wodonga just holding on a little bit here, but they do always seem to get one back when Wang get a couple on the board. So they've got to be a little bit better coming out of the midfield. Driscoll's got to give him better service.
Hope you're enjoying O&M live action. The Pies and the Dogs under lights here at the Norm Mins. We're back live in the centre of the ground. Mathy, that was Josh, head over the footy. Little Jack got a clearing kick away in a telephone box to a high up and under. Cassidy did some good work. Tilly came through. Well done by Federico, the Preston Prince. Intercepted now by Johnson, working hard, the big fella. Kicks inside 50, Spiteri.
Winning the battle at the moment.
Spiteri marks on the lead, 30 metres out, slight angle. And he's going to play on. Spitzy snaps across his body. The Dogs respond instantly. Mawson's concrete player of the day, and Noah Spiteri has 3 goals midway through the second term.
Yeah, well, he's the most influential player for Wodonga Bulldogs this term. He has been fantastic. He's their outlet to goal, and I think Panda called it earlier in the day that he's going to be their most important player inside that forward 50, and look at it now. He's dominating when the ball comes his way. He's doing exactly what a small forward should do, Noah, and no doubt he'll be happy with this pump-up I've just given him when he watches the post-game match, I should say. But as I said, they bite back Wodonga, so another good finish.
We said in the scorecard that the big 4 for the Dogs had to kick 10 goals for them to win. They're halfway there with 5.
Noah's got 3 of them. As a little kid screams, he's lost his ice cream. Here's Sharrock. Shovels it out to Clark, getting busy. Hand passes to Dane Porter, goes inside forward 50. Calmore out the back. Fraser Hollandine's going to kick 3. Fraser Hollandine's kicked 3. A smart snap on goal. He sat out the back of the stoppage. Moore dished it to him. And it's a calm finish, and the Pies bounce back. The margin's back out to 17.
Yeah, well, you've got 2 small forwards playing a really good game for both teams. Fraser Hollandine, he's having the game of his life, as Gus said earlier. So he's playing really good football. And we just called his name then. Jackson Clark, he had 12 disposals in the first quarter. I feel like he's been getting a little bit of attention from Jack O'Sullivan, who's had the 5 disposals. So a little bit more attention going into Jackson Clark is paying dividends for Wodonga.
Brilliant game of football here under lights. Who said night footy was no good, boys?
Not me.
Dane Porter got the ball by hands. The Magpies kick it up to centre half forward. Juice Newton went back courageously. Big Jack O'Sullivan's got some work to do. He left it behind. Snap on goal from McVeigh. On the goal line is Charlie Morrison. Intercepts nicely, brings the ball out to Matt Wilson. Club room side pocket. He goes short. He finds big Michael Driscoll. He's across right half back for the Wodonga Bulldogs. They trail this game by 17 points. He goes to Matt Wilson. His numbers for 40 winks.
This will be his 7th disposal, Gus.
Probably a guy that needs to continue to work into this game. Sells a bit of candy to get around Juice. Wilson gains 15 metres and throws it on the boot. Winter Irving, the target, made a good contest. Barrett was brave. A little bit uncharacteristic for him not to influence the contest. As the ball goes out of bounds, the Wodonga Bulldogs have done well. They've bought themselves about 100 metres. We'll have a restart. And on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard, the Magpies lead 53 to 36. 18 gone for Maccas.
14 goals in the first quarter and a half. Wouldn't have picked that with the dewy conditions as Will Bradshaw's brought to ground.
You just saw that contest earlier before by Kyle Winter Irving. He hasn't had a great impact, but you just saw him be able to halve the contest and get a stoppage. That's what he's got to do more of in the second half.
Ball up, broadcast centre wing. Chris Knowles got his Dino all over this one. There's Sharrock. Just grubbers at the half forward out of mid-air. We're going to have another stoppage, boundary throw in.
A few Wodonga boys a bit overzealous calling for the deliberate. I think they remembered the one earlier in the first quarter, but smart play there by Sharrock.
So it's a small forward game at the moment. Spiteri versus Fraser Hollandine, which is what we like to see. They've got 3 apiece. And we've got another boundary throw in as Waitai Tua grubbers it to the boundary line. We'll quickly go around the grounds, repeating some scores for Wangaratta Mazda in the SS&A Ovens and Murray. We had the Rovers by 34 over the Raiders, North Albury with a big win over Corra Glen, Yarrawonga by 25 over Myrtleford, and Lavey with a big upset, 11-point winners over Albury.
And the Blues over the Crows by 8 midway through the final term. Back here live at the Norm Mins Oval, the Magpies win the footy out through Clark. Kicks to the hot spot, dangerous looking ball. 35 from home, it's in the hot spot. Calmore, he's the most dangerous man in these positions. Got it onto the Prince. Federico out wide in the pocket. The Magpies have numbers everywhere. They go short, and Dan Sharrock marks uncontested. 25, probably 45 metres out. on a tight angle. And that was great vision there, Panda, from Harry Hewitt, just to lower his eyes and find Dooley Sharrock.
Just about to say, he didn't blaze away, Dan. He could have had a flying shot on goal, but he found Dan Sharrock in game number 50 in a better position. And he's going to line up from, you'd say, 47 metres out directly in front. He hasn't kicked a goal so far this year, Dan Sharrock.
So Dooley Sharrock carrying the weight of Panda, tipping him for the Morris medal. His kick on goal looks beautiful off the boot. And they get around the vice-captain in game number 100. Dan Sharrock kicks an important goal for the Magpies. And on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard, the Wangaratta Magpies are starting to kick away. 9-5-59, the Dogs 6 straight 36.
Yeah, putting in some performance, Dan Sharrock. He's up to 17 disposals for the day, 8 this quarter and a goal as well. So he has just been super professional. But Panda called it earlier before that the factor that he didn't blaze away and turn and hit up Dan Sharrock was so much more mature than just turning your back and try snap a goal, which 9 out of 10 footballers would have tried.
I think I said he had game 50. So he's actually played 100, has Dooley Sharrock, one of the good blokes in the competition.
Selling him short, Panda.
Jack O'Sullivan.
Speaking of short.
Yeah, speaking of short, little Jack with a big heart. Brought to ground, ball up again. And we're going to have another repeat stoppage. Looks like lots of players around this pill. Federico brought to ground. And as I said, another ball up. This game just about to break open here, I reckon, for the Pies. The Dogs got to hold on before half-time. 23-point leaders are the Wang Magpies. Tom Miller at half forward had to bend down really low. Matthey's fighting for this one. Spills out the back here to Harry Smart. Noah Bradshaw intercepts. Wilding. Beautiful little outside of the banana to Jack Matthey. In the centre of the ground. Kicks to half forward. Big Dukes. Winter Irving couldn't pull it in. The Dogs go forward. Well done, Charlie Naish on Spiteri then. That's a win to Charlie Naish. He fists it over the boundary line.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. They're going on again.
Well, Noah's down and hasn't barely moved. He's just coming back to his feet there.
Right in front of the scoreboard here. A bit of heat in this one. And there's a free kick to the Pies, it looks like here. And Charlie Naish, although Noah Spiteri has stayed down.
Yeah, I think Charlie Naish got him in the contest, which was fair, and then Wodonga retaliated after and gave away the free kick.
So the play's just going to murmur out from this, and now the umpire's been really smart to allow the game to play on. The poor kick out of D50 has been intercepted by Bradshaw, who lowers the eyes, and he finds little Jack O'Sullivan, centre half forward, chiselling kick to Kyle Winter Irving. Now, big Kyle, he's going to kick this one, Panda, all of 51, 52 metres on the slightest of angles.
Jack O'Sullivan really starting to assert his knowledge on this game here, Dan. How many 40 winks has he got?
So he's got 7 this quarter, and he's got 8 in the first quarter as well. So he's dominating Jack O'Sullivan.
And he had a 5.5. He's averaging 5.5 inside 50 so far this year, Jack O'Sullivan.
Here's big Kyle to the Evans Street end. Looks good. Got the legs. Big goal from Kyle Winter Irving. He's been presenting hard all day, and he gets his reward as the Wodonga Bulldogs kick their 7th. 42 plays 59 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. The Wangaratta Magpies lead the Dogs.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth there. Gus, he has been presenting well all day. He's been able to halve contests when he's got there, but he finally gets a little bit of reward for effort and a good finish there by Kyle Winter Irving. And Wodonga just hanging on. They're doing what they need to do. There's always going to be adversity against a team like Wang, but Wodonga just keeping in touch, which is pleasing.
7 straight, the Wodonga Bulldogs. As Knowlesy almost threw that one, I thought. He held it in the palm a long time. Back out of the middle. Dane Porter weaving through traffic. Forward hand pass. And here come the Pies again. Kicks it long. Moore with strength. He pushed Morrison under the contest fairly. The Dogs want a free kick, but Moore's not having any of it. He's going to line up for goal number 2, pretty much directly in front.
And that's the part of the game that the Wangaratta Magpies weren't doing in the first 2 games. They weren't looking after the ball going inside 50. They were kicking it to ordinary spots. They weren't allowing their premier forwards the best chance to go at it. When you get the ball like that into Callum Moore, Panda, more often than not, it's going to result in a set shot.
He loves the wrestle, does Callum Moore. So he'll line up 25 out, slide angle, and he's missed. They're the sort of ones he misses, but he'll kick the freakish ones. The Pies 9-7, 61. Wodonga 7 straight, 42. That's on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. We've played 24 minutes second term for Maccas.
Well, you just talked about it before the game as well, Gus, is that no one is marking the ball inside their forward 50 in the opening 2 rounds except for Michael Newton. I don't know if Michael Newton's taken a mark inside forward 50 this game, and they've taken 8, Wang. So definitely an improvement in that area.
Big Juice having to work hard up the ground. Jorgensen kicks in from fullback. Driscoll's the target, spills out the back, trying to track it down the boundary line is Deneen. That's on the full. That is out of bounds on the full against Grossman. And he was pretty aware of it too. In fact, it was Boarding-Young.
Grossi's not playing.
Isn't he?
No.
Laid out.
He was never named.
He wasn't.
You've had him
Where's
there, Gus.
Grossi?
I'm not sure.
Where is he? Get him back in the side. Deneen. Free kick off the play. Did he kick it out of bounds?
I think he
played on out of bounds.
Yep. And now it's a throwing.
So probably what the Wangaratta Magpies thought would be the right result there. It's going to be a boundary throw in right in front of us. Well spotted for Elite Building Construction, Dan Vaccaro.
That's why he's number 1. Our man Dan. Toss back into play. Knowlesy up against Driscoll, who got his palm to that one. Josh Mathy just sort of worried Richards out of it. And we've got another boundary throw in. Starting to get a bit greasy, Gussie.
This is part of the game. The Wodonga Bulldogs have to be really careful, Panda. It's a 16-point lead at the minute. They've just got to nullify this contest. Maybe try and squeeze one in, but certainly not let the Magpies score.
25 played Macca's time clock second term. Gus McLeod and Blake Panda Escott with you for Wang Motor Group as Driscoll. That was an ordinary hand pass to Josh Mathy. Coming up at the football here is Tommy Johnson. Wants his left foot. 70 from home. Beautiful little kick down the line. Charlie Nace dropped it. And we're going to have a boundary throw in. 50 out from the Dogs' goal, who trail by 18 points.
If you're watching that on Snap Printing TV, the reason he dropped that, Panda, is because it is very dewy here at the Norm Men's Oval. Carl Linders told you during the week, Panda, it is going to be dewy. And we're starting to see that here at the Norm Men's. Barrett back into the lineup today. His handball was poor. Big tackle applied by the Wodonga Bulldogs. Matt Wilson, who's really working his way into this game as the minutes tick on, has caused a restart. The Dogs would love one here, 30 from home on the edge of half-time. Magpies have numbers. Tilly kicks from a standing start over the head of Gill. Spills out towards the broadcast side wing. Good body by Lockie Brodie as Gill throws it on the boot inside 50. Mathy's there, kicks off the side of the boot, out of bounds on the full.
What I really like from Wodonga at the moment is repeat inside 50. So they're up to 10 this quarter. So they're trying to work back into the contest and get some territory in their half.
So we're ticking up towards the half-time siren for Jaco Aubrey Wodonga. Big leap there from Driscoll. He overran the footy and Juice said, thank you very much. I'll take it out of the back of the contest. He's at half-back. You don't see Juice too far up the ground.
His work rate's been good, Blake.
It has been. Big crunching run-down tackle before. He goes short to Sharrock and he goes back to Juice.
19 disposals for Dan Sharrock as well on the 40-wing stat sheet.
He's been everywhere.
I thought you were going to say 19 for Juice. I thought that's big numbers for Juice.
No,
I thought you were going to say that
run
too.
19 metres, Juice.
We have heard a few, particular club stats sort of blown out of proportion in the early stages of this season.
Ross Hillary doing the stats
Aubrey
for Juice,
Tigers,
is he?
not knowing what they're doing.
We've got a boundary throw in here. Just towards half-time. 60 plays 42. That's on our CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. And here's Gus McLeod for Wang Motor Group.
Thanks, Panda. 27 and a half gone. Ball gets to Miller, who just kicks it across his body inside 50. Where are the smalls here? Redcliffe couldn't quite read that bounce correctly. Pinballs around at the stoppage. Few players dive on top of this one. Another ball up. 40 metres out, directly in front for the Dogs.
We'll see this a lot, I reckon, Dan, in the second half.
Yeah, you will, and that's their 4th repeat inside 50 as well, Wodonga. So not reward for effort here, though. They've got to get a goal.
Up goes the footy. Good work by Porter, wrapped up in a little Jack O'Sullivan tackle. Bradshaw's on the bottom of the pack. Josh Mathy burrows his way through. I think I called him a wombat one year, Panda, and he's starting to show that once again. We'll ball the footy up 25 metres out from goal. They're doing really well, the Wodonga Bulldogs forward players, to let this ball stay inside their attacking 50 and give them a chance at a goal at late stages of the second.
They'd love to go into half-time 2 straight kicks down. They're currently 3 straight kicks down. The umpire wanted to pick out a free kick here just to open up the play, Dan. He was circling like a shark.
Good call.
And he said, I'll have it. Still 40 out from the Dogs' goal. Not far away from half-time. Second term for Jaco Aubrey Wodonga. Kick from the Dogs was partially smothered, and there is the siren. So that second term going 29 minutes for Jaco Aubrey Wodonga And on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard, the Pies will take an 18-point lead into the main break. 9-6-60 to the Dogs, 7 straight 42. Stay with us on 2AY, 3&E O&M Live and O&M Snap Printing TV. Blake Panda Escott with you, Gus McLeod, Dan Vaccaro and Night Footy at the Norm Ends. When we come back, we'll dissect the first half. On O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. .0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
Welcome back to the Wodonga Bulldogs and the Wangaratta Magpies on O&M Live. The halftime show is for our good friends at Macca's. And I tell you what, if you're listening in Wangaratta Macca's, prepare yourselves for a barrage when the O&M Live call team come through after the game this evening. A cracking game of football here under lights at the Norm Minns Oval. A highly attacking, highly conducive game for football. 60 plays 42. We've had 102 points in the first quarter, Dan Vaccaro. If you had offered me 102 points for the game, I would have taken that in the pre-game show.
Oh, yeah, righto. Interesting. It has been a very good game this half, Gus.
It's been sexy.
Sexy is a good word,
Sexy.
I guess. It's
descriptive.
I reckon Luke Francis would like that.
He would. He would.
Yep. No, look, I agree. The free-flowing game of football has been fantastic from both teams. I think Wodonga, they sort of fought back in that last quarter and had probably about a 5 to 8 minute period where they dominated the territory for the first time of the game, and they just couldn't put a little bit more scoreboard pressure, but they go in 3 goals down, and both teams are playing really well. Noah Spiteri up forward for Wodonga has been fantastic. He's taken the most of his opportunities, Gus.
Well, we might have to keep an eye on this. My mailman has just sent through a text message, someone in the ground saying he came from the ground and he's been treated for concussion.
Spitzy.
Right.
Spitzy.
So that must be with that contest with Charlie Naish then.
Correct. So he went down pretty hard and pretty heavy, and we thought he had the wind knocked out of him.
Yep.
He is being treated for concussion at the minute. We'll have to watch this space. I know that Wodonga Bulldogs medicos will do everything and make sure he's right, and he won't come back on the ground if he isn't. But if he is ruled out with concussion, 21-day protocol comes into play.
Yeah, it does, and that'll be disappointing for Noah. But, yeah, obviously safety first, and they got to do the right thing, and hopefully he's all right and he can come out in the second half and have another impact because he's been very, very good. But he's been fantastic. And then at the other end, it's the other small forward, Fraser Holland-Dean Panda, who has been unbelievable in the opening half as well.
Just taking their chances, both of those guys. So Noah Spitteri's got the 3. They get themselves in dangerous positions, and then they maximise their opportunities.
Well, he would have only had probably 5 to 6 disposals, I reckon, Noah as well.
And
He's
Fraser
kicked 3
Holland-Dean.
goals, and Fraser Holland-Dean too. So, fantastic.
So we'll run through the goal kickers in the opening half. For the Magpies, 3 to Fraser Holland-Dean, and then singles to Jackson Clark. Goal, how many seconds was it, Gus?
17
seconds into the game. Welcome back, Jackson. 1 goal to Pat Naish, a goal to Cal Moore, a goal to Dan Sharrock, Liam McVeigh, and also Jesse Smith. And then for the Wodonga Bulldogs, as we've spoken about, 3 for Noah Spiteri, a single to Ethan Redcliffe, also to Cole Winter-Irving, Oscar Wilding, and Josh Mathy. Now, who were our Cavalier Homes quarters best in that second term, Dan? And give us some of the 40-wink stats disposals for players and the team in that first half.
For sure, Panda. So the Optus quarters best for Wodonga. It's got to be Jack
Cavalier Homes quarters best.
Cavalier Homes, sorry. Quarters best. It's got to be the coach, Jack O'Sullivan. He had
Little Jack.
Little Jack. He's had 18 disposals. He had 10 disposals that quarter as well. And he went to Jackson Clark a lot in that quarter. And Jackson Clark only came up with the 4 disposals after returning 12 in the first quarter. So they've put a little bit of time into him as well. When they get him on the outside, he's most damaging, Jack O'Sullivan. So he's definitely the Optus quarters. Cavalier Homes quarters best. Sorry, Banda.
There's a
I've
nice
had a blunder.
Mawson's concrete clanger of the day, I reckon.
I've had a clanger of the day.
And you know that Dan used to work for Optus
He
too.
did. He did. Wally Pasquale would love you, Dan.
Good on you, Wally. And Dan Sharrock as well. He has been fantastic that quarter. He's had 10 disposals, 19 for the game, Gus.
Some players that I think are playing very good games of football, but we probably might not be talking about them. I think Alex Federico is playing a much improved game of football
on the inside too.
On the inside than what we've seen, and this is Aidan Tilley's best game of football in Wangaratta Magpies colours. He's playing a really dynamic role. The back
the swing man, Gus.
Well, the back 6 of Wangaratta, they were very stagnant against the Rovers, and I must admit I didn't watch a hell of a lot of tape of their back line when they played against North Ory, but their back 6 are moving, Panda. They're dynamic and they're agile, and they're working their way into the contest as opposed to the contest working their way into them.
What they're doing when they have the ball, I would say in the middle of the ground or at half forward, is they're kicking it deep inside forward 50, and they're giving their forwards opportunities, and they're hitting up some leads as well, which is what they haven't done in the first couple of rounds, Dan. A lot of shallow entries, 40, 50 metres, and bombing it inside forward 50 with no precision. But, to come out and kick 9 goals in the opening half in pretty dewy conditions, Ben Reid would be pretty happy.
Yeah, well, they would, and if you look at the numbers, they're ninth in the league for contest and possession, so that's definitely improved. So the only team behind them before this round was Corowa, so they've definitely ticked that box. 8th in the league for disposals. They've ticked that box, and number 1 clearance team in the league. Well, they're killing dogs in the clearances as well. So they're ticking all the boxes. The one thing I really like with Wodonga, they're sort of going about their inside 50s a little bit different. They're not sort of going as deep and direct as Wang, but they are trying to figure it out a little bit methodically. Thanks, Panda, I got that out. But they're just going with a little bit more caution, but it is paying dividends for their small forwards.
Let's go around the grounds for Wangaratta Mazda. You're listening to our halftime show on 2AY, 3&E and O&M Snap Printing TV for Maccas. Full-time in the SS&A, Ovens and Murray. The Wangaratta Rovers 14-14-98 over the Wodonga Raiders 9-10-64. North Albury 21-13-139 over Cora Rutherglen 6-5-41. Yarrawonga 13-12-90. Winners over Myrtleford 9-11-65. And the big talking point of the day, the big upset, I think there's another great video on the Ovens and Murray Facebook page as well. Lavington 9-6-60 over the Albury Tigers 4-15-39. When was the last time the Tigers kicked 4 goals in a game of footy?
Long time.
They normally kick 4 goals every 10 minutes, don't they?
Yep. So well done to Adam Schneider and the Panthers. That's a great win. And repeating the scores here at half-time at the Showies, the Magpies 9-6-60 up against Wodonga. 7 straight. Have not kicked a point, 42.
A few players need to work their way into this game. I think we need to see a bit more from the likes of Harry Smart, Ryan Batten, Waitai Tua, and I think Harry Hewitt's got a bit of work to do just to get themselves into the game. That's Wangaratta's bottom 6, Panda. They haven't done anything wrong, but if they can get those players around the ball a bit more, having a big impact, it's going to go a long way. Whilst for the Dogs, keen to get your thoughts on this player, Dan Vaccaro, for our good friends at Elite Building Construction. Ollie Greenhill's normally a bull around the stoppage. He's normally that negative-based midfielder that's at the grunt. He's the heart and soul of the football club. He's been quite quiet tonight. I reckon his magnet's been thrown around a little bit.
Yeah, they are. He's a really interesting case study, Ollie. As you said, he's that negative opposition midfielder, but he can go down into a back pocket and usually do a run-with role. We saw him go to Dale last week against Myrtleford. I'm not too sure who he's running with, but they are definitely throwing the magnets around for him. But you mentioned doggies that do need a lift. I want to see a little bit more from Josh Mathy. He's only had the 7 disposals to half-time. He's usually a ball magnet and a bull inside the contest. That bullish behaviour is there, but he's just not getting enough of the footy. And if he can get it inside the contest more, that allows the skill set of Jack O'Sullivan to get on the outside like he did last week against Myrtleford and really dominate the contest, Panda.
I'd like to see a little bit more also from Tommy Miller. I think he's probably been a little bit quiet. Looks like he's playing at half forward. Adam Jorgensen and Jet Cassidy just hasn't hit that form from 2023 yet as well. So those players need to impact the contest probably just a little bit more. If the Dogs are to get their way back into this contest, they're still in it, 18 points. But if they're to overrun a pretty strong Magpies outfit, we need a little bit more from them.
I think. Sorry, Gus. I think Jet Cassidy's an interesting one as well. How often do you see a number of small forwards perform the same night? Like Noah's having his turn tonight, and I think Reddy's sort of been a little bit quiet as well. But I'd love to see Jet Cassidy get up the ground a little bit more. He's got great run, he's got great skill, and he's actually got really good height. So it could almost be a half marking option when they're coming out of defence, Panda, as well. So I'd really like Jet Cassidy to push up the ground and see if he can get the pill off the sort of wing to half forward.
I just had a quick look at your phone, Dan.
Yes.
And last time I checked, Carlton were in front by 17 points.
My goodness.
Adelaide have just hit the lead by 2 points with about 20 seconds to go over Carlton, 100-98.
I've just clicked the KO button on that just quietly, boys, because I need to see this.
Well, watch this space. Another player that I think they need to make a tactical and positional change with, boys, is Adam Jorgensen. He's the best half-forward in the competition, in my opinion. Get him back to the half-forward flank. Get him zimming up to the contest and being that link-up player between midfield and half-forward, and a really good user of the footy is Tom Miller. We've seen him play behind the footy a little bit, Panda, particularly in that game at Mulwala against the Pigeons, and I thought he set him up really nicely behind the play. I'd love to see him and the Bulldogs make that change.
Tom Miller's an interesting one, but I couldn't agree more with Adam Jorgensen. I'm sort of a little bit, I wouldn't say bemused, but I'm a little bit confused onto why he's sort of playing that half-back role. He's so deadly as a high half-forward, and he goes into the midfield. So that's a really interesting one, and his ball use as well is so good. So why not get him in the dangerous parts of the ground, Panda?
All right, let's take a break. The Magpies are out on the ground before the umpires, so we'll wrap up our halftime show for McDonald's. Second half on the other side of this. Stay with us on 2AY, 3&E and O&M Snap Print Solutions TV. Gus McLeod, Blake Panda Escott with you, Dan Vaccaro, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. 0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
Just been caught out a little bit here by two teams coming out very, very quickly after half-time. So we do apologise. We've played about 30 seconds on the Macca's time clock. Third term for Wodonga MG. And the Magpies lead by 18 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard.
Inside 50, the big juice on the lead. Haven't missed anything here on O&M Live. We tell you won't miss a thing. You haven't missed anything. But what you will miss if you go away now is Michael Newton's set shot on goal.
Big juice. He's gotten up the ground in the first half, and now he's just come back home. He can do a lot worse than kick 2 or 3 in the second half and really steer Wangaratta home.
Here's Big Juice. 50-metre kick. Looks all right off the boot. Dream start for the Pies. They extend the margin on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. 66 plays 42. A goal in the first minute. Once again, from the Wangaratta Magpies. They've done it twice already.
Yeah, good finish there by Juice Newton. Range, but yeah, look, dangerous start now. Wodonga almost holding on for dear life. We've only played 1 minute, but they've really got to respond as they have in the first half. Let's see how much character this Bulldogs have.
So that's, as Gus McLeod beautifully called, a goal in the first minute of each half. 17 seconds for Jackson Clark in the opening half to kick the first goal of the game. And then Juice goes bang about 54 seconds into the second half. The Pies by 24 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Noah Bradshaw brings down Sharrock hard in a crunching tackle. Sort of regretting the shorts just a little bit now. These little pins are getting a bit cool, Dan Vaccaro here in the bird box.
I'm comfortable.
Harden up.
As, well, wonderful spin there by Porter, who read the tap from Knowlesy brilliantly. And here come the Pies again. More clever tap to Hollandine. Snapping on goal was Sharrock, who pushed forward. And it's out of bounds on the full. In fact, it was Charlie Hollandine, in fact. Out of bounds on the full, and the Dogs win it back deep in their own D50. 66 plays 42, repeating a goal in the first minute to Michael Newton in the third term, all thanks to Wodonga MG.
We had some concerns about Noah Spiteri and a possible head knock. He's back out there on the ground, so good to hear that Noah Spiteri's A-OK.
Been ticked off, Gussie.
So ball in the back pocket. Looks like it's Big Jack O'Sullivan for the Wodonga Bulldogs to bring the ball back into play. Long raking kick down the line. Knowles flew high, just went through his mitts. Good work there by Driscoll. Got the ball to Little Jack O'Sullivan. Pushed as he went to kick. Trying to keep it alive was Hollandine Charlie. And it's out of bounds for a boundary throw. And Liam Andrews got a little bit to say there to the two Hollandine boys.
Little fun fact about Big Jack O'Sullivan. Cousins with Sam Walsh from Carlton as well.
Well, his little brother Finn is touted as the #1 draft pick in this year's draft. The boys from Koroit, Driscoll and the ruck left it behind. Coming through, the Magpies have numbers. Moore's there, so's Porter. Shimmies and shakes, gets around one. Got the ball inboard to Hollandine. Dispossessed, spills out the back of the contest. Gill got taken high if the umpire saw it that way. He didn't. Cal Moore got him in a big tackle, balled up 30 metres out from goal.
Finn O'Sullivan and Willem Dersma, the brother of ex-Dersma. He looks like he might go #1 as well. Jack O'Sullivan, Little Jack trying to spin out of traffic. There's your Pryor holding the ball. Great tackle from Jesse Smith. Didn't let go of Little Jack O'Sullivan, and he's going to line up Smith for his second goal, 45 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, really good tackle there by Smith. And yeah, Jack O'Sullivan, he had that prior. It is a little bit harsh, but as soon as you do that spin and get caught, that's ball.
Absolutely. Had the prior opportunity, could have got rid of it. Jesse Smith swooped.
Long approach here, Panda.
Ben Brown sort of run up. Don't mind it. Needs to get maximum distance. So this to extend the margin to 5 goals from Jesse Smith. He's directly in front, and he's hit the post 3/4 of the way up. Definitely got the distance, did Smithy. Minor score. The Pies 10-7, the Dogs 7 straight. So 17 scoring shots to 7. The margin's at 25 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe.
Andrews goes short to Jorgensen. Going to bring it out grandstand side wing. Wilson flew high, kept his feet well, regathers possession, wrapped up in a Charlie Hollandine tackle, will ball the footy up. Dan Vaccaro for 40-wing stats.
Yeah, well, you just mentioned Jorgensen. He's had 2 early touches as well. Hopefully can sort of assert himself a little bit more forward of the footy and have a dominant display this half.
Driscoll working his way into the game in the ruck. Bradshaw dispossessed of the footy. Porter emerges, put in the path of Smith, who got a really high knock.
Porter's been hit.
No, Jesse Smith, boys. He copped a really nasty one there. He looks okay, but he's sort of holding his neck there, Panda. He copped a pretty big whack. Waitai Tua is ignored on the overlap. He goes short, and he finds Porter. Kick was good, but Dane made it look pretty ordinary. Mathy inboard. They kick long down the line. Now go the Dogs. Big contest. Spiteri wanted to get it out the back. Fell the way of Nash. This is Charlie. He evades the tackle. Got it onto Federico. Short to Smith. Pressure comes here from Wilson. He's done a really good job. Wilson, a brilliant tackle. And the Magpies survive a scare from Matt Wilson's pressure. He wraps up Aidan Tilley. Will ball the footy out right in front of our broadcast position. Panda, 6 minutes gone for Maccas. 67 plays 42 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe.
Yeah, third term action for Wodonga MG. That's a free kick to Big Kyle Chook Winter Irving against Chris Knowles in the ruck. Right in front of our commentary position. It's called to play on. Centre wing Kyle pumps it to half forward. Disappointing kick. There's the Jew. Straight through the midst of Aiden Tilley, who had no opponent around him. Boarding on was brought to ground. Out the back of the contest to Gill, who jams it on the boot. Redcliffe's got 2 to beat. And they got a boundary throw in right next to the point post here. The Dogs are deep inside 50 entry.
Don't know. I reckon you're being pretty nice there. I don't reckon it was the Jew. I reckon it was the footsteps, Panda.
You reckon?
Yep.
Okay. Footsteps from Dan, Jew from me.
Not from me either. I'm going with Jew. Just to be a real fence hitter.
Soft.
Boundary throwing. Deep into attack for the Dogs. Dan Sharrock been best for the Pies for mine. On top of the footy is 2 up. And on top of him was Riley Gill. I really like Riley Gill. He's a youngster with a bit of promise at the kennel. Got a taste of senior footy last year. Played all 3 games this year. Johnson in the ruck now. White-eyed Tiller for the Pies. Kicks to centre half forward. Well done by our man Jorgensen. Kicks on the left inside 50. Bit too much height for Little Jack. Big Jack would have been okay. Little Jack O'Sullivan's a bit more vertically challenged, out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
Hot start this quarter from Adam Jorgensen. 3 disposals, works his way up to 9 for the game. Just seeing a little bit more of the footy, Gus.
Boundary throw-in. Dogs need one pretty urgently. 25 points the margin. Charlie Naish hacks it out of defence. It's been called play on because it was touched off the boot. Well done there from Sharrock, who shovels it back to McVeigh. Left foot down the line. Good pick up there by Richards. Comes through with pace and pumps it to half forward. 1-on-1 in the middle of the ground. It's been marked by the Magpies. It's Fraser Hollandine who's kicked 3. Mitch Deneen does well to hold him up. He's right in the centre circle is Fraser Hollandine. Called to play on. Kicks a high one to half forward. McVeigh just lost his man Driscoll. Roving the pack beautifully was Richards. Flicks it back to Waitai Tua. On to Charlie Hollandine. His kick's ordinary. Was looking for Cal Moore in the pocket. It's out of bounds on the full. Cal says, that's all right, Charlie. Just hit me up next time. A free kick to Morrison. The Dogs trail by 25 points.
I think Cal said something else from what I saw. But
he was being nice.
Okay. Ball back on the centre wing here. Dogs have numbers, one of whom is Mitch Deneen. He's looking the leanest I've ever seen him. He's had a really big pre-season. Wilding with a bit of pace and a bit of shimmy. Rebounds inside. Looking for Redcliffe. Good use of the body. Spills out the back. Spiteri got some work to do. Tilly goes back in board. The Magpies are clever. Jesse Smith needs a good bounce here. Doesn't quite get it. Here's the footsteps coming. A Redcliffe! Big tackle. Umpires paid for it. Pushing the back, Dan.
That's a shocking call. It was in his side and he tackled him. It should have probably just been a ball up or a throw in if it went out of bounds, but that's, not the right call there. Made a mistake, the umpire.
Not happy about that one, our man Dan.
Well, you got to tell it how it is.
Got to tell it how it is.
Disagreed.
Yes, I like it. So a free kick to the Pies, deep in defence. They work it out here. Porter and Federico link up. The Preston Prince. Good kick to the Ovens River side of the ground wing. It's been intercepted actually by Tom Miller for the Dogs. It's called to play on straight away. Hurry kick inside 50 wasn't great. His forwards weren't set up, Dan. And it just allowed Michael Boardington to float across and take an intercept mark.
Yeah, bread and butter for Michael Boardington and Wangaratta Magpies. They've got to be more creative going inside their 50 Wodonga.
9 minutes gone, second term for Maccas. And the Pies still lead this one by 25 points. We've had 1 goal to Juice Newton in the second half. Fraser Ellis has it deep in defence. Good clearing kick to the wing. It's been marked here by Batten, who goes by hand to Barrett. Good kick down the line. Has been juggled out of bounds off the chest of Fraser Hollandine.
Yeah, a little bit of token pressure there. Adam Jorgensen as it goes out of bounds, but 4 inside 50s for Wang to start the quarter, as well as Wodonga 4 inside 50. So an even contest, but the scoreboard pressure's definitely with Wangaratta.
A little bit of feedback coming in from our opposing call team from today. Gus McLeod.
Also had some feedback from a friend of mine who's watching on Snap Printing TV. He reckons Ethan Redcliffe as a doppelganger. Jules Lund, former breakfast radio presenter from Getaway.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vorney, who's tuning in via Snap Printing TV. Boundary throwing, 75 from the Wangaratta Magpies goal. Beautiful toss back into play. Falls the way of Little Jack O'Sullivan. Matey, this is Josh. Burrows his way through, got wrapped up in a tackle. Sharrock just kicks it inside 450, bit of a hit and hope. Keeping it alive, well done Morrison. Game number 50, dangerous kick. It's out of bounds on the full. Slippery footy caused a poor ball drop, which caused poor connection with the Sharon. So the Magpies are going to have the footy here with Jackson Clark. His 40 winks, please, Dan.
Jackson Clark's going to come up for his 17th disposal, Gus.
And put the ball inside 50 for the Pies to the hot spot. Flying high was Hewitt, brought it to ground level. Greenhill for the Dogs. Got it out to the captain, Charlie Morrison, in game number 50. Kicks across his body, looking to find Bradshaw. Waitai Tua, the best name in football, takes it across the boundary for a restart. Panda on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. The Magpies doing enough so far. 10-7-67. The Dogs 7 straight 42. 12 minutes gone for Macca's in the third.
2-0 and 3 knees O&M live. Gus McLeod, Blake Panda Escott with you for Wangaratta Motor Group. Dan Vaccaro. All thanks to 40 Winks and Elite Building and Construction. And of course, if you missed our earlier broadcast, the Rovers too strong over the Raiders by 34 points. Moore out of the ruck, shovels it forward to the top of the goal square. Juice had front position. Brody against him. McVeigh has been grabbed without the ball. Umpire said play on. Brody did well. Kicks it to half back. Noah Bradshaw far side marks in front of the old scoreboard. Goes short to Little Jack. His numbers, please, Dan.
Jack O'Sullivan is about to have his 19th disposal, Panda.
That's the co-coach, Little Jack. At half back, far side. Hugs the line, goes long down the wing. Over a pack of players. Out the back, Waitai Tua. Clever little tap over his head there was Aiden Tilley, and in the end, we have a boundary throw in, just 4 to centre here for the Dogs. They need one pretty quick. They trail by 25 points on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard.
Do you reckon we can get Jules Lund to stick for Redcliffe? I reckon it's one of the better doppelgangers
I don't mind it. I'm not sure Ethan will.
Being a gazillionaire on TV is a pretty good gig. Beats playing footy at Wodonga, I would have tipped.
Very fair.
Free kick here for the Magpies. They're going to come inboard. Nice looking kick. They're playing through the corridor a lot better tonight of the Wangaratta Magpies. Ball's in the hands of Batten, who comes out to the broadcast side wing. Hewitt had to be clean, he wasn't. Barrett's going to be here to help him mop up his dirty work. Hewitt kicks from a standing start. Sharrick's the target. Good strong mitts. Umpire's going to pay the mark.
Free kick.
Free kick.
Chop the arms.
I thought it was there. He's got really strong hands. Hollandine got the ball back to Nace. This is Paddy. Fumbled, then kicked from a standing start inside 50. Good contest from Morrison. Won the fist. Liam Andrews kicks long down the line. Nace was there. Wilding's worked his way up the ground. Little Jack with another 40 winks disposal on to Gill. Here's Jack O'Sullivan, Little Jack, running through the middle of the Norm Minns Oval. Kicks inside 50. Jules Lund, Ethan Redcliffe gets a clever bounce. Well done by Aiden Tilley. Worked the ball back in towards a bit of space. Balding-Young's there, goes backwards. Aiden Tilley once again has to be clean. His handball to Charlie Nace was poor. Coming through beautifully was Miller. Got it on to Gill. Gill snaps from 25. Bang go the Dogs. Mawson's concrete play of the day, and young Riley Gill with an opportunistic snap against the runner play. The Dogs bounce back.
Yeah, and fantastic persistence there by the small forwards of Wodonga. Ethan Redcliffe and Noah just running from contest to cause an error, and then the ball was in dispute, and what a finish there by young Riley Gill. We've liked his game all day, and he's really tough for the contest and clearly a good finisher, Panda. But it's Wodonga Bulldogs fighting back again, so it is down to 19 points. They've had 5 inside 50s this quarter. Jack O'Sullivan, 4 disposals already, 22 for the game. He's just throwing this Bulldogs team on their back at the moment, Panda.
Haven't just liked his game today, Riley Gill, but he's been really solid the first 3 weeks. And here comes Cal Moore out of the middle. Jams it on the boot, kicks it to the pocket, to the fat side. From the behind, Juice Newton. Well done, Connor Brody, who's played a pretty good role on Juice after quarter time. Boundary throw in. 20 out from the Pies goal. They lead 67 to 48. That's on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. 15 played Macca's time clock. Game in the balance here. The Dogs are right in it if they can kick the next. Pies threatening to sort of break it open. The Dogs clear defensive lines, and it's out of bounds on the full. It's hit the velodrome concrete on the outside of the ground. And the Pies are going to bring this back.
8 goals in the first and the second term, Panda. Now we're sitting at the 16-minute mark of the third term. Only had the 2 goals, so players are really starting to tighten up. And maybe a little bit of fatigue starting to come into this contest here. So the Magpies kick it inside 50. Moore was the kicker. Big high up and under. Sharrick brought it to ground level. Well done there by Bradshaw, who's on hands and knees. And we should ball the footy up 25, maybe 30 metres out from goal. The inside 50's this quarter, Dan Vaccaro.
5-7 in favour of Wangaratta, Gus.
So the Bulldogs need to capitalise on their chances. Inside 50 for the Wangaratta Magpies. Bradshaw, whistle, free kick. Going to go the way of the Dogs here. I'm not sure what the free kick was for, Panda.
Threw it out of the contest, Gus.
Wilson marks across half back for the Wodonga Bulldogs. He's got Miller short. He uses him. A player we called for to lift at half-time. He's working his way into this game well.
He is.
Miller is going to be forced to retreat. He kicks to fullback. Nice looking kick. The captain, Charlie Morrison, kicks long down the Ovens River side of the ground looking for his other co-captain. Falls out the back. Well done by Callum Moore to intercept. Kicks inside forward 50. Brody at the one-on-one. Out the back. Out of bounds or across the face? Across the face for a minor score. So the Bulldogs just rolling the dice on that kick outside of defensive 50, Panda. If they're going to take the game on like that, the kick has to come off.
It does. Cal Moore's kicked 1 goal, 3 has Cal. Then it's through for a minor score. We'll just grab some really quick stats from Dan Vaccaro.
So the inside 50 count at the moment now is 9-5 in favour of Wang, so they're really dominating. Jack O'Sullivan's been good, 4 disposals, and Charlie Morrison's had 4 disposals off the half-back line too.
So Adam Jorgensen out of defence goes to Ollie Greenhill. Still in his own D50. Goes out to the far Ovens River side of the ground. It's been marked by Matty Wilson. Just overcooked the footy a little bit to the middle of the ground. Knowles intercepts for the Pies. And here comes Clark on to Sharrock in game 100 in the middle of the ground. Kicks into the pocket. Juice out the back. Clever shot on goal. Juice Newton. A steal line goal today. Snapping tight in the pocket. The Pies answer back. They extend the margin on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Juice Newton's got 2. Fast play by the Pies, 74 plays, 48-17 played Macca's time clock.
Yeah, really coming alive this quarter, Juice Newton. He kicked a beautiful set shot from 50 metres out on a slight angle, and then he's just a real classy snap there in the pocket. So the old head cream rising to the top, as they say, Gus. He's been fantastic this quarter, and Wangaratta, just another really important goal in Wodonga. They've just got too much on their plate at the moment to try and crawl it back, and let's see if they can do it again.
Panda, I've got a game-high lead of 26 points for the Dogs.
Yep.
To the Wangaratta Magpies. And they're attacking once again. They win the clearing kick up towards half forward. McVeigh's got some work to do. Andrews pushed him off his footy. McVeigh came through, made an impact at ground level. Gill dives on top of it. Umpire calls for a stoppage. Will ball the footy up. So 18, almost 19 gone for Macca's. The Dogs need to stem the flow of Magpie goals. Kick up towards the true centre wing position. Little toe poke underground from Charlie Nash. Now the ball's with Tilly. Throws it on the boot, long down the line. Johnson's in the hole. Umpire said it was touched off the boot. Play on. And we'll have a restart as Sharrock wraps up a big tackle. 55 metres out from Wayne goal.
Ball up. Johnson against Knowles in the ruck. A push in the back. Going to go the way of the Dogs and Noah Bradshaw. We're doing his numbers, Dan?
We are not.
Okay, simple.
So shut up.
Shut up. Don't ask for 40 winks. That's why we love you, Dan. Oh, juggling that one was big Jack O'Sullivan. Just allowed Federico into the contest and was a pretty ordinary hand pass as our cameraman Dougie has a big sneeze. Bless you. Dane Porter coming through. O'Sullivan and the Dogs intercept through Cassidy. Floating kick to half forward. Thought Wilding was brought off the footy. Swooping on this one, Redcliffe. Wanted a high free kick. Barrett at half back, far side for the Pies. They link up by hand. Ellis has to hand pass it over the top. Just got rid of it. Richards, his kick was partially smothered. Scrappy game. Scrappy third term at the moment for Albury Wodonga MG. But the Pies won't mind it. They lead by 26, Dan Vaccaro.
Yeah, and it's been a bit different to what it was in the first half, so you can definitely tell that Stewie Jew's really coming into play this quarter as well. So really on top here, Wang.
You like that, don't you?
I love the Stewie Jew. Premiership hero.
Full time in the B grade netball. Wodonga have beaten the Pies by 2 goals. Out the back, Panda.
An unhappy household maybe for me.
Good luck dissecting that one tonight. Of course, your much better half, Miranda Gray, captain of the B grade this year.
Very much so.
Skipper, leadership does not run in the relationship though.
Big emphasis on the much better half in that sentence.
Yep. You two are oil paintings.
Yep.
Absolutely
Correct.
we are. And we're both single. Ball's out on the Ovens River side of the ground. Umpire calls for a stoppage. We'll ball it up.
The first time we've had a little shout out on O&M Live from a member of our commentary team, just inviting a bit
Future
of
Mrs.
pressure.
Mrs. Vaccaro or Mrs. McLeod can come forward.
Quiet within, inboxes are open. Knowles won the tap, brought it to ground level. Clark just fading out of the game a little bit by his own good standards. Fraser Ellis kicked long down the line. Working hard is Deneen. He's been really good this year, and so he has tonight. Kicks long down the line. Jules Lund, Ethan Redcliffe gets the ball in a bit of space, needs a clean gather. He was held without the footy. Umpire said yes. Clever from Ethan Redcliffe. Threw the harms out and just said, someone touch my jumper, I'll get a free kick.
Oh, I'll tell you what, the forward craft from Redcliffe and Noah is second to none in the league in terms of drawing free kicks and able to sort of get that ball, get their head over the footy and be able to get the umpire's attention. That is fantastic craft there by Ethan Redcliffe.
You can't miss him with that blonde hair, and he made sure the umpire saw that, Ethan Redcliffe. This just keeps the Dogs in it if he can kick this one.
Needed to bring the margin back to 20 points. Ethan Redcliffe. He's normally a beautiful kick of the footy. Already got one tonight. That is no exception. Through the big sticks. Against the run of play, the Bulldogs respond via Ethan Redcliffe. On the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard, the margin's back to an even 20 points.
Yeah, Wodonga, they've got a couple of class small forwards there, Ethan Redcliffe and Noah, and what a great finish there by Redcliffe. But next big challenge for Wodonga is to be able to get a couple on the board. This has happened throughout the whole entire game where they've pinned the margin back, and then Wang, as a good team as they are, they just respond. So really important that Wodonga maybe get a bit of territory in their half and be able to put a bit more scoreboard pressure on Wangaratta.
So Ethan Redcliffe with his second goal. Not sure how you like being called as a small forward by our man Dan Vaccaro. He's not overly big, but
it's a hybrid.
I wouldn't say he's
the
small.
The role he plays is definitely small.
Correct. Little Jack O'Sullivan with a clearance to Will Bradshaw. He was tackled. Nice kick though, just as he was getting tackled out to Jack Mathy, holding his width on the far side. Kicks it to half forward. Big pack of players. Ryan Batten does well. Swooping in for the Pies. Beautiful kick inboard to Chris Knowles, edge of the square. Goes out wide here to Fraser Ellis. Far wing. Just slows the footy down a little bit. And he comes laterally. Cross half back to Ryan Batten. And he goes short. So the Pies back in their own D50. They look like they want to switch the pill. He goes very short to Charlie Naish. It was a slips catch. They're the sort of ones Gus McLeod takes down nice and low.
I don't get down that low.
And he goes back to Tilly. So the Dogs got a full ground press on here, Gus McLeod for Wang Motor Group. They love a late one. They trail by 20 points as we tick up towards the 24-minute mark for Maccas in this third term for Wodonga MG.
The Dogs will love this on the review. All of their players have worked really hard to force the Magpies to pickpocket their way through and just weave their way through a maze here.
I reckon the Pies won't mind just taking the sting out a little bit as well.
Absolutely, they've worked their way through it beautifully. Kick finds its way to Jesse Smith, who comes back inboard to Ellis. So the footy for the last 90 seconds has lived in the Wangaratta Magpies defensive 50. And in that time, Wangaratta have maintained solid possession. Ellis is going to kick long down the line to buck the trend. High up and under, big Juice Newton. Presents out in front and marks true centre wing, Ovens River side of the ground. And Juice is going to milk the clock here and just play a bit of red time footy. He kicks inboard. Fraser Ellis marks once again. They get up to really suck the life out of this game here, the Magpies. They're playing a very negative brand of footy. 25 and a half gone. Third quarter action for Maccas. Little chip kick's a good one. Aiden Tilley. He's at about 5 40 links disposals in the last 2 minutes here, boys.
This is stat padding.
And this is a really methodical football. Ball finds its way to Batten. Between centre half back and the half back flank. Wodonga need to force him to kick down the line here. His kick's a good one to Waitai too. It's like a training drill, Panda.
Yep, keeping's off at the moment. Let's not let the ball hit the ground. That's what the Pies are doing. Waitai. All of a sudden the Dogs force that long kick. And a great intercept mark by Michael Driscoll. It's a Mawson's concrete mark of the day. He plays on straight away. It was partially touched, but it lands in the arm of his intended target, Jack O'Sullivan. Little Jack inside 50's paw. Good intercept mark by Charlie Naish. I've liked his game today. Hang on. There's a free kick off the ball, and it's going to go the way of Kyle Winter-Irving. I think it's a block against Aiden Tilley.
Well, he's not happy about it, his Aiden Tilly, Panda, and rightfully so. Without seeing it directly, only out of the corner of my eye, I couldn't really see a hell of a lot in that. But nonetheless, the Wangaratta Magpies have done all the hard work here, Panda, and now a chance for Kyle Winter-Irving to win the margin back to 2 goals.
So Kyle Winter-Irving makes them pay. A good goal. The margin's back to 14 points. Okay, 10 straight the Dogs. The Magpies 11-8. All of a sudden, we got about a bit of a ball game here, Dan Vaccaro.
Absolutely, we do, Panda, and you just probably a little bit soft in that free kick, even though we didn't see probably a whole lot of it. But the reward for effort for Wodonga to work hard and get back and put pressure on and make Wang play that way is a tip-off, and that was a great reward for that effort as well. So Wodonga worked really hard to get back and force the error.
Well, they forced the long kick from Waitai Tua. They won the ball back and they went forward.
Almost defeats what they were trying to achieve, Panda. Back in the centre, both ruckmen left it behind. Driscoll tapped it forward. The Dogs have numbers. They try and go back to Little Jack. Working hard, the Magpies have numbers. Back of the pack's Batten. Wants to throw it on his boot to gain some yards. Everyone missed that one. Little shimmy kick off the ground was okay from Big Jack O'Sullivan. On top of this football is... Who's there? McVeigh's there. Ollie Greenhill's there. Umpire calls for a restart.
SHIT then, Gus.
Great save.
Little
Great save by you, Gus.
It was a very good save as well. There's about 15 kids converge underneath us. Yep. There's a little bit of screams and the siren sounds here at the Normins Oval. 3/4 time and we have ourselves a bit of a ball game. The Magpies 11-8-74. Wodonga 10 straight 60. That's right. 10 straight. They have not kicked a minor score. 14 points the margin at 3/4 time. Third term done and dusted for Albury Wodonga MG. The Dogs 3 goals to 2 in that third term. Stay with us. A big finish coming up on O&M Live on 2AY 3&E and O&M Snap Print Solutions TV. On O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. 0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
Welcome back to the Norm Men's Oval. Under lights, the Wodonga Bulldogs are taking on the Wangaratta Magpies, and the Pies hold a 14-point lead at the final break here on O&M Live. Gus McLeod and Blake Escott with you, calling the action, and Dan Vaccaro's on our 40-link stat sheet. He's also our elite building construction expert this afternoon. He's also doing our Cavalier Homes quarters best. Who had it in the third?
I'm doing it all, Gussie. I'm doing it all. So for Wodonga, it was probably a little bit of a hard one. I thought Jorgensen early on in that quarter was fantastic. He had the 5 touches that quarter, but Charlie Morrison had the 6 off halfback, so he was really important for them, and Reddy kicking that all-important goal as well. So they had a few names. For Wang, I thought Jackson Clark was particularly quiet that quarter, but I also think Federico was good in the contest. He had 5 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Great work from Dan Vaccaro.
Just watch his concentration in this last quarter, because his beloved Hawks are on, and we know
Score.
that he's going to watch a fair bit of this.
20-10 early days.
Well, if anyone gets harshly rated on the stat sheet, I think we'll know why.
Exactly right.
Who wins from here, boys? 14-point ball game.
Pies.
I think the Pies hold on.
You know what? Wodonga are going to do it, I reckon, boys. Just so Brad Freak can make another comment about me being biased. Go for it, Freaky. Number 2.
Highlight of the third term also for Cavalier Homes. Gus McLeod just inviting inboxes to his personal Facebook from any single ladies that might be out there watching O&M Snap Printing TV. 4th term underway here for Cavalier Homes. The Pies by 14. Noah Bradshaw, his brother Will, linked up with Noah, and then he dropped the pill. And we're going to have a ball up far side of the ground. Night footy here at the Norm Men's Oval. Last night fixture of 2024. On 2AY, 3&E O&M Snap Print Solutions TV. A 360 from Federico, but he's held his strength well. Intercepted by Jack O'Sullivan. Left foot kicked to half forward. Redcliffe just sort of let that one run through to Spiteri, who wants to get back onto his right foot. Swivels out of traffic. Redcliffe! Juggled a beautiful one-handed mark. And he's going to go back for goal number 3, 15 metres out slight angle.
Well, the Wodonga Bulldogs, they haven't been looking after their key forwards with delivery today, but like we mentioned earlier in the game, the Magpies the Bulldogs have taken a leaf out of Wangaratta's book, and that is a beautiful delivery to hopefully result in a beautiful goal.
A Mawson's concrete mark of the day, and the Dogs have the all-important first goal of the last term. Margin is back to 8 points, 11 straight, 66. Plays the Pies 11-8-74. They've kicked the same amount of goals, Dan Vaccaro.
They have. As I said, that footy IQ up forward for Wodonga Bulldogs is oozing at the moment. They are a really good, smart forward line. I think he's kicked 3 goals, Panda, and that one there, a one-handed mark. So Wodonga well in this contest.
Great start to the final term, just what the doctor ordered at the kennel. And they're going to try and get the next clearance once again. The Magpies have numbers. The handball was poor trying to find Barrett. Jesse Smith got it out to the Ovens River side of the ground with a soccer kick off the deck. Umpire's going to call for the whistle here and we'll ball the footy up on the outer side of the ground.
They've kicked the last 3 goals, the Dogs, and they've won their last 2 on this ground. So they're going to back themselves in here for a big finish.
74 plays 66. The Pies lead the Dogs thanks to work Locker Wangaratta. Early stages of this final quarter. It's a very dewy, heavy deck. You can notice that, boys, by the colour of the grass on the ground. Start of the day, it was all lush and green. Now the dew's setting in. We're starting to see a bit of colour discoloration on the ground.
Landscaping Gus over here.
Very work at ESG. Sorry, EGS.
Yeah, wouldn't be working for Kreza.
So ball and a bit of a scrimmage. And it's a free kick here to the Dogs. It's going to go the way of Little Jack. He's too far out to score. In the centre square, he kicks it to the hot spot. Why not? Coming from behind there and crashing the pack and almost juggling that one was Winter Irving. They're pressing here, the Dogs, and we're going to have a stoppage inside their attacking 50. Directly out from their goal.
Jack O'Sullivan, boys, he's up to 25 disposals. He's been Wodonga's best.
Yeah, he certainly has been. 74 plays 66 in the final term for Cavalier Homes. We've played 3 minutes, Macca's time clock. Lots of players around this pill. Barrett linking up by hand with Charlie Naish. Bit of a tumbling punt down the far side of the ground. Dogs have the numbers, but Charlie Fraser Hollandine does well at ground level. Coming in here was Jorgensen for the Dogs. Tommy Johnson with a clever tap back to Jorgensen. Did Juice get him high? Umpire says no. He lets it go. Bit of messy play. Comes out the back of the stoppage here to the way of the Dogs. And a left foot kick from Liam Andrews. Goes down the wing. A one-on-one here between Bradshaw and Naish. Naish does well. Shovels it back to Charlie Hollandine. Did he get grabbed without the ball? No. Umpire says play on. Scrappy play here, Gus, as players bore in.
Yeah, Matey left it behind. Whistle, free kick, a high. It's going to go the way of the Magpies. It's against Josh Matey. The recipient is Jesse Smith. He kicks out wide. Cam Barrett on the outer side. Normally a beautiful user by foot is Cam. The man from Balranald has it at true centre wing, Ovens Riverside. Umpire calls in a progress play, and he kicks long down the line. Andrews flew across the pack and impacted. Jorgensen kicked across his body to buy some yardage. Josh Matey uncharacteristically left it behind. Knowles back inside 50. Out the back is Hollandine. Morrison comes forward. Toe poke, free kick.
Against Deneen for the hold.
And it's going to be Fraser Hollandine, boys. Fraser, who's going to have it tight in the pocket now. Panda, I reckon he's a left footer. How?
You reckon he's going to go left foot
I
around the
reckon
body?
He's going to go left foot around the body.
He's a natural right footer, but this would be goal number 4 for Charlie. Sorry, Fraser.
Fraser Hollandine kicking for number 4, Panda.
He's had a good night.
He's had a brilliant night. Goes the left foot, kicks across his body. And it's across the face. Sneaks in for a minor score on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. So the Magpies move to 11-9-75. The Dogs, 11 straight, 66. 5 minutes gone for Maccas. A cracking ball game here on O&M Live. There's still plenty of time left in it, Panda. We only played 5 minutes in the final term.
Yeah, margin at 9 points. Stan Vaccaro, early stages, 4th term for 40 winks.
Yeah, Jack O'Sullivan continuing his great work. So he's touched the pill twice this quarter, up to 25 disposals. And Jorgensen getting busy as well. He's just had his 2nd disposal in the opening minutes.
Bradshaw came through the pack. Sort of shoveled out a little bit here to Tom Miller. Did he get pushed in the back? Dogs wanted a free kick. Umpire says no. Broadcast side wing here in All Mins. At half forward here for the Pies. Haven't kicked a goal since Newton at the 17th minute mark of the 3rd term. Not all that long ago, but the Dogs have sort of owned the last 15 or so minutes of this game. Jack O'Sullivan, Little Jack, goes down the wing. And Jesse Smith runs it over the boundary line calmly in front of the Wang Magpies bench.
Looks like a positional change here. Big Jack O'Sullivan's worked his way up the ground. It looks like he might have been playing on a wing or certainly just trying to inject himself, maybe even as an on-baller here, Panda.
Yeah, he's certainly on the ball. Riley Gill sitting off the back of the stoppage, coming through with class with Sharrock with a clearing kick inside forward 50. Morrison, really good early body work on Cal Moore, wins an important one-on-one. Clears it by hand out of the back line. Big crunching tackle from Charlie Hollandine on Jorgensen, sees it over the boundary line. It'll come back into play. 50 around from the Pies goal. Still the 1 goal in this last term to Ethan Redcliffe. Margin sits at 9. Gus McLeod, 6 minutes played, Macca's time clock.
They're just going to have to keep grinding here, the Dogs. Not let the Magpies score. Johnson was good. Little Jack O'Sullivan got it onto Mayfi. The slippery footy's not working here for the Dogs. Bradshaw was held without the football. Umpire saw it that way. Free kick to Noah Bradshaw. Dane Porter lucky not to give away a footy. Short kick to Josh Mathy. Numbers for 40 Winks, please, Dan.
Yeah, he's only had the 12 disposals, Gus.
Goes short, finds young Riley Gill. True centre wing broadcast side. Josh Mathy calls for the footy again. Kicks long down the line in the Wilding direction. Who marks on the edge of the boundary. Going to kick inside 50. Fat side pocket. Well done by Tilly. Zoned off his opponent, intercepted beautifully, marks in the pocket for the Wangaratta Magpies and kicks short, finds its way to Richards.
He's worked his way into this game, Nick Richards. Liked his second half. Goes short to Dan Sharrock. His numbers, Dan Vaccaro.
That was his 24th.
I reckon you can put him down for 80% disposal efficiency as well. He's been very clean. Goes short here to Chris Knowles.
Been good.
Been very good, Knowlesy. Goes down the line, good kick. Playing in front, Calmore takes it on his big barreled chest. He plays on straight away. Smart kick. Smart work there by Jackson Clark, who's fallen out of this game just a little bit after a hot start. But he won't mind if he goes back and puts this through 40 out slide angle.
Well, he kicked a really big goal in the 17-second mark of the first term, Panda. Had a dominant first half on the 40-wing stat sheet, but only because it's his first game back in senior duties has he faded out a little bit. This will be a massive kick in the magnitude of the contest.
To put the margin out to 15, Jackson Clark with the bright orange boots. Beautiful drop punt on the ways there. They get around Jackson Clark, an important steadier for the Wangaratta Magpies. Margin back out to 15. 81 plays 56. And that is on our Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. Sorry, 66. 81 plays 66.
That's unlucky. Good job, Panda.
Thank you, Dan.
And a really, really good finish there by Jackson Clark. So 20 disposals for his day, but he had 12 in the first quarter, so he has faded out a little bit, which is understandable being out of the game for so long. But just a little steadier there and gives Wang a little bit more breathing space, but expecting other dogs to come at them again.
How the Hawks going, Dan?
18 points down, Gus.
Against the Gold Coast Suns.
Game
Around
over.
the grounds, Wangaratta Mazda. Back live in the centre. The Magpies have numbers. Barrett shovels an underground handball. Works out okay to Federico. The Preston Prince kicks inside forward 50. McVeigh was good. Coming through was Hollandine. McVeigh with a clean pickup. Tried to evade a Bulldogs tackle. Umpire ignored it. High was Hollandine. Charlie got taken high against Matt Wilson. Big brother Fraser injects himself and says, boys, leave him alone. And Charlie over set shot 35 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Yeah, good work there by Charlie to draw that free kick, and it was definitely there. Probably just a little bit undisciplined there from Wodonga to get that high free kick and go back and put the game very hard now for Wodonga.
I don't reckon he's kicked a goal in O&M yet, Charlie Hollandine. So this would be his first one if he can nail this one.
And in the magnitude of the Wangaratta Magpies season, what a big goal it would be. 35 metres out to the club room's end of the showgrounds. Charlie Hollandine steps up and he misses the scoring range. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full, gents.
My goodness.
So the Bulldogs get a sniff. The Bulldogs get a sniff here on O&M Live. 10 minutes gone for Maccas. They need to kick 3 in a row to the Dogs.
81 to 66. That's on our Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. As the Pies go back inside forward 50. Paddy Naish socketed out of midair. Fraser Hollandine's dangerous in these positions. Matty Wilson there as well. And Connor Brodie just eases Charlie Hollandine over the boundary line. We'll get it tossed back in right next to the point post. Wangaratta Magpies end of the ground. They've owned the territory the last 5 or so minutes. And kicked a big goal to put the margin back to 15. Down in front of Bay 13, as Gus McLeod likes to call it. We've got another stoppage. Dan Vaccaro, 40 Winks.
Yeah, Wangaratta, they're starting to work their territory game and starting to get the chocolates there. So 7 inside 50s for them. Only the 3 inside 50s for Wodonga.
Good tap from Juice Newton in the ruck. Went and did his own crumbing work as well. Bottom of the pack. Will ball the footy up once again. So 11 and a half minutes gone here, Panda, for Maccas in the final term. Wangaratta have played a very balanced tempo game today. They've taken the sting out of the contest when needed to. Now's a prime example. Miller left it behind. Was he held? Umpire said yes. So Tom Miller in the back pocket for the Wodonga Bulldogs. He's going to kick short. Driscoll went through his mitts. Pounced on by Hollandine. Fraser Hollandine misses. Gets it! I thought the goal umpire was running off to the races there, boys, but it drifted late through midair. He's kicked his 4th goal, And the Magpies might have just done enough on O&M Live.
Yeah, a bit of a coach killer there by Driscoll. He just dropped an all-important mark there and almost has just put this game beyond doubt now, I think. Wangaratta are going to be too good to give this one up. So very, very deflating for Wodonga to give one up there, and a classy finish there from Wangaratta.
Once again, Fraser Hollandine getting himself in the right position at the right time and maximising his opportunities. He's kicked 4 goals. This is a breakout game for Hollandine, who debuted on this ground against the Tigers back in 2022, and in and out of the side over the last couple of years, but you can write his name in every single week now. Jack O'Sullivan, that's little Jack. Clearing kick. Jet Cassidy was brought down in a strong Barrett tackle. Driscoll, who dropped that earlier mark, goes back to Wilson. Had to get a kick out of that traffic, otherwise he was gone. Did so. Nick Richards, as I said, worked into this game. Bit of a wobbler old kick inside forward 50. Jackson Clark just left the football behind. It allows Connor Brodie to come back for the Dogs. Bit of a looping hand pass was a hit in hope. Put Tom Miller under real heat. Fraser Hollandine sort of played for the free kick there. Miller did well and just hoifs it long down the line.
Johnson's the target. Great courage from Tom Johnson. Backed back into 2 Wangaratta Magpies. Spills out. Johnson's back on his feet. Goes for an over-raking handball. The Dogs want to kick the centre half forward. It's an all-right looking kick to little Jack O'Sullivan, who marks 45 from home. Going to chip it into the pocket. High up and under. Redcliffe left it behind. Cassidy off the ground. Out of bounds on the free kick.
Free kick to Bulldogs.
I reckon it's in danger, is it?
Is it Cassidy? Well, Cassidy kicked it, so who knows, Panda? Unless the umpires pointed the wrong way, I think it's a free kick to the Dogs.
No, it's definitely going to go the way of Jet Cassidy. I'm not sure what that's for.
Maybe did he push him late, Panda, perhaps?
Maybe. Anyway, Jet Cassidy, who's had a quiet night, this is a chance for him just to inject himself into this game and bring the Dogs back into the ball game. This would bring it back to 15.
Panda, your maths is better than mine. I'm glad you got the calculator out.
I needed it after my last effort.
So Jet Cassidy, a must-kick goal for the Dogs at the 14-minute mark of the final term. A 15-point margin on offer if he salutes. Jet Cassidy hits the stick. Hit the upright at pace, and it's a minor score, Panda. 87 plays 67. It's an even 20-point ball game. Wodonga Bulldogs hit their first behind of the evening at the 15-minute mark.
That's what the Bronx cheers were for from the Wangaratta Magpies supporters in front of us. They finally kicked a point. They're on world record pace almost.
Oh, the umpire
down. He's down.
Oh, I thought he did a soft tissue as well.
The umpire's down as Sharrock racks up another 40 winks disposal. On to Jackson Clark. Has to go a right foot banana around the corner. Richards jumps really high. Driscoll swoops in for the Dogs. Gill, he's been clean. Good pressure from Waitai Tua. Gill was able to get his kick away to half forward. Johnson applies a bit of heat here from Boardington. Tilly. His hand pass was half smothered here by Jet Cassidy. Hand pass out wide to Mathy. That was Josh who smothers it and it's gone over the boundary line for a throw in. 50 around from the Dogs' goal. Wasting precious time here, the Magpies. They'll be pretty happy. They sit in front by 20 points. Gus McLeod for Wang Motor Group.
Quickly, Dan Vaccaro, 40 winks.
Inside 50 count now, boys, is 8-5 in favour of Wang, but Wodonga's starting to wrestle back a bit of momentum.
50 from home. Johnson winning the ruck, left it behind. Clark dispossessed by Little Jack O'Sullivan and holding the ball. Free kick awarded. So Little Jack is 60 from home.
He's been Wodonga's best by far.
Couldn't agree more. 50-metre penalty. Downfield free kick, boys. It's a downfield free kick in the square. You guessed it. Noah Spiteri against Charlie Nash.
No, this one's against Aiden Tilley, I think, but either way, he's been annoying and he's won himself free kicks, Noah Spiteri. Aiden Tilley's having a laugh here.
You got Spitzy for 3, boys?
I've got him for 3.
This for his 4th. The Dogs need this ever so much. This to bring the margin back to 14 points. Spiteri straight over the goal umpire's hat. 87 plays 73, 16 minutes gone. The Dogs still have a sniff in the final quarter for Cavalier Homes.
Yeah, you can't question their endeavour, Wodonga. They just keep coming. They've probably just lacked a little bit of polish early in that 4th quarter, but they're giving themselves a sniff here with Noah. He has been fantastic today. He's kicked the 4 goals, and his footy IQ and his footy craft is second to none. Between him and Redcliffe is just great brains between them, and a great finish there from Noah.
He's fastly becoming one of the premier small forwards in the competition as Noah Spiteri. He was a soccer player till 2 years ago, played pinch hit games for the Dogs. traded in the round ball for the AFL ball, and I'll tell you what, he's been a brilliant player since doing so.
He takes his opportunities. 4 goals straight this week, Noah Spiteri, after, 2-7 last week.
2-7?
2-7. 87 to 73 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. Is there time for the Dogs? 17 played Macca's time clock. They'll have to be near on perfect in greasy conditions. Here they go, Jorgensen. They're just going to run the dice. Jet Cassidy has wheels. Tumbles it inside forward 50. Jack O'Sullivan. A Mawson's concrete mark of the day. He's juggled it. That's Big Jack. He's been swung forward, Gus McLeod.
A coaching master stroke. They threw him onto the ball, Panda, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a forward midfield resting rotation. Try and throw a new dynamic into it. We know that distance will not trouble Big Jack from here.
So he's going to kick this from 50. Directly in front. On goal, it's there! The Dogs are back in it. 2 goals in a minute. A steer line goal that a contender, 87 plays 79. The margin is at 8 points, Dan Vaccaro.
What a finish there by Jack O'Sullivan. Big Jack that we're calling him. The man that made the 25-man top 20 in Gus's O&M players in the league as well. He's a quality player, Jack O'Sullivan, and you just see why they swung him forward. He can take a big mark, and he's got a boot on him as well, Panda. Dogs in with a big sniff here.
Just written down Big Jack O'Sullivan in my own notes.
I've written Big Jack as well. Big Jack steps up when
Big
Little
moments.
Jack has been delivering. Jorgensen's gone into the ball for the Dogs. Knowles won the tap, trying to find Sharrock. The Bulldogs have numbers. Jorgensen trying to wrap up Knowles. Got the handball under Jesse Smith via Sharrock inside 50. Callum Moore couldn't quite bring it to ground. Fumbled, he was held. Umpire ignored it. Top of the goal square, Juice Newton's there. Juice can soccer it off the ground here, but the Bulldogs on the last line of defence. Looks like Matty Wilson takes it across. There's a few players a bit slow to get up there. A minor score. Andrews from full-back Panda's going to kick in out to the Ovens River side of the ground.
Yeah, he is. Pack of players, and there's a free kick here or a mark. Take your pick to Tom Miller.
Free kick over the shoulder to Tom Miller.
Half back.
He's lifted.
He has. Needed his kick, or McVeigh almost intercepted. Little Jack's been epic.
8th disposal this quarter, boys.
He plays on straight away at half back. Pumps it long to half forward. Knowlesy straight through the mitts. Out the back, Ethan Redcliffe jams it on the boot. Kicks it to the pocket. Did Noah Spiteri get brought down? He wanted a free kick, Noah. He always does. Umpire says no. Boundary throw in deep into attack from the Wodonga Bulldogs. 88 plays 79. 9-point margin. We played 20 minutes on the Macca's time clock. 4th term for Cavalier Homes.
I reckon we still got 5 or 6 minutes of footy left
Certainly.
here, boys. 9-minute ball game. Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. The Magpies are holding on and the Dogs are coming. Winter Irving into the ruck. Won the tap. Tilly was there. Fed it on to Sharrock, who kicks it in a hit and hope towards the grandstand side wing. Misfooted there was Gill, left it behind. The Dogs have numbers behind the footy, one of whom was Greenhill. He left it behind. Good work by Waitai too. A kick was smothered. And out of bounds for a boundary throw and bringing the football back into play right in front of the grandstand. 9-point ball game, 20 minutes gone for Macca's. Dan Vaccaro, 40 winks.
What a contest. Jack O'Sullivan, we mentioned him earlier, 8th disposal this quarter, 30th for the game as well. He's been fantastic.
Knowles out of the ruck, took it, then got dispossessed. Little Jack O'Sullivan, been huge. Inside 50, gets the ball towards Spiteri. 55 from home, tries to be a little bit too cute and clever. Gets a restart, 45 metres out from Bulldogs' goal. Still about 4 minutes to go in this game of footy here, Dan Vaccaro.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a nail-biter. Dogs have the territory as well, so this is going to be an exciting few minutes.
Winter Irving in the ruck. He slapped it forward in towards a bit of space. Redcliffe's there. Did he get held? On to Spiteri. Left foot kick. Top of the goal square. Spiteri! Goal of the day for Steelline via Noah Spiteri. He's got 5 majors and it's under a kick in the final quarter on O&M Live.
That is huge from Noah. If they get up here, I'll tell you what, he has robbed Jack O'Sullivan of the best on ground because it's going to Noah. He's kicked 5. He's been the most dangerous forward on the ground by far. He has been unbelievable. And those two working in tandem again. The handball from Redcliffe straight to Noah and the classy finish there. Dogs, huge chance here now.
87 plays 85. On the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard, 88 plays 85. Massive finish from Noah Spiteri. And the Dogs are coming hard on O&M Live. Don't go anywhere on 2AY 3&E O&M Snap Print Solutions TV. We've got a beauty here. People are jumping on the live stream, which is what we love to see. 3-point margin to the Pies. They've kicked the last 3 goals, the Dogs, in the last 5 minutes of footy.
Got to get Callum Moore around the ball here, boys. He's been the most influential, and the Dogs are winning it in the centre. Big Knowles, he's starting to tire in the ruck.
How good's Jack O'Sullivan, little Jack been in this last term as Tommy Johnson wins it for the Dogs. High up and under kick to the middle of the ground. Noah Spiteri jams it on the boot. It's an open forward line. Big Jack's down there in the hole. Spills the way of Kyle Winter-Irving. Good pressure on Waitai Tua. Jack O'Sullivan's brought down, boarding on, holding the ball. A Mawson's concrete play of the day from Big Jack O'Sullivan. And he is unbelievably going to line up to put the Dogs in front, 45 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Relentless pressure inside forward 50 from Kyle Winter-Irving. He lacks foot speed, but he makes up for it in effort. And this could be a coaching masterstroke from little Jack O'Sullivan to put Big Jack O'Sullivan into attack.
To put the Dogs in front, who trailed by 21 points at the 11th minute mark. Jack O'Sullivan! The Dogs are in front. They've come from nowhere. Big Jack O'Sullivan puts the Dogs in front 91-88 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. We played 23 minutes in this final term for Maccas.
I reckon I said it about 10 minutes ago, but what a player Big Jack O'Sullivan is. He's fantastic. He's just basically just auditioned for an ultimate swingman role as well. He has gone forward and has been a great marking target, and most importantly, a beautiful kick here. What a finish to this game.
The Wodonga Bulldogs are on the brink of one of the great comebacks. They trailed by 26 points midway through the third. Free kick and a whistle. Going to go the way of the Pies. In the centre of the showgrounds. Dooley Sharrock in game 100 sends Wang inside 50. Juice! Couldn't bring it to ground. Big contest forms. Hollandine's there. Here's Clark in his return game, wrapped up in a big Liam Andrews tackle. The crowd call for a stoppage and we'll ball it up 25 from home.
First time the Dogs have been in front since Noah Spiteri put them in front by 1 point at the 23rd minute mark of the first quarter.
Hollandine left it behind, whistle, free kick. It's going to go the Dogs' way. Jeez, at the 24-minute mark, this could be huge. 24 and a half gone, the final term for Maccas. The Dogs lead 91-88. Oh. Turnover was imminent, but the mark has been taken. The Bulldogs have it across half back, and they marked beautifully. Right in front of our broadcast position, sucked the life out of it, Wodonga.
Ollie Greenhill at half back. Supporters, players on the edge of their seats. So are we here on O&M Live. Charlie Nace weaves his way through a little bit of traffic. Look at the desperation from the Dogs. Big Jack O'Sullivan runs it over the boundary line, and precious seconds and time come off the clock. 25 minutes played, final term. Dogs by 3. 91 plays 88. Who said night footy was crap?
Not us, Panda.
Not at all. Toss back in. Here's Sharrock. Was he grabbed high? Umpire says no. Johnson jams the torpedo punt inside forward 50. Goes over a pack of players. Ryan Batten wants to rush it across the boundary line in the end. He rushes it over the boundary line. Deliberate! He's called deliberate! Extraordinary call in the final term. And Ethan Redcliffe will have a shot from tight in the pocket to put the Dogs 9 points in front.
I don't like to question the men in green, Panda, but it was a questionable decision for mine. This will suit Ready to left footer. This will be the final nail in the coffin.
For goal number 3, Ethan Redcliffe snaps and goals! Look at the 1-2 punch of the Dog supporters. Redcliffe puts the Dogs 9 points in front. Where has this come from? 97 plays 88, and Redcliffe has 4.
Unbelievable, boys. That is, you will not see a better O&M game. That's as good as it gets. Great character here by Wodonga. They went 26 points down in this quarter, halfway through, Panda, and they have just come back. And what a finish there by Redcliffe. Classy small forwards. We've been saying it all game, and it's on the back of a dominant display from Jack O'Sullivan, the coach. 10 disposals this quarter, 33 for the game.
The Pies need 2, and we've played 27 minutes. The Bulldogs get the football up towards the centre wing position. Tua's got some work to do against Miller. Barrett had to be clean, he left it behind. The Bulldogs are just running on top of the ground. Little Jack O'Sullivan burrows his way through. Pinballs around, gets the ball out wide. Nick Richards wants to attack the corridor for the Pies. Kicks the centre half forward. They need a mark. They get a free kick. Hollandine. This has got to go inside 50 quickly via Fraser. He needs a mark. McVeigh wants it one out. Kicks to the top of the goal square. Flying high at ground level. Smith's there. Here's Ellis. Ellis kicks across the face, minus score. It just simply had to go through. The Magpies 89. The Bulldogs should be 96, I reckon, boys. I reckon they've added a point to the wrong team there. 27 and a half minutes gone. 89 plays 97. The Bulldogs lead the Magpies.
8-point lead. 5 goals in 9 minutes of football. Scintillating stuff from Jared Twitt and Jack O'Sullivan's Wodonga Bulldogs. They were dead and buried in the final term. They've come from the clouds and they win an important boundary throw-in right in front of our commentary position. 28 minutes played for Maccas. We've had 28 goals kicked on a dewy night here at the Normans Oval. Here's Gus McLeod for Wangaratta Motor Group.
Oh, it has to be Rolls Royce now, and it's not. Moore won the tap. Mayfield was tackled. Has to be only seconds left here as the Wodonga Bulldogs edge closer to a win for the ages. Wangaratta can't do enough, and the Bulldogs grasp victory from the jaws of defeat. They trailed by 15 points midway through the final quarter, up to 22 points when Fraser Hollantine goaled, and they kicked 5 consecutive last quarter goals to steal victory right from the hands of the Wangaratta Magpies. Final score at the showgrounds, Wodonga 13-11-89. The Wodonga Bulldogs accurate in front of goal, 16-1-97. Remarkable game of football here on O&M Live, and I think, Dan, that is why the Ovens and Murray Football Netball League is the premier competition right across Australia.
Oh, I'm speechless, Gus. That was unbelievable, that last quarter. We spoke about it earlier. 26 points down halfway through that last quarter, and you've got to praise the coaching from Twitty firstly, but you've got to praise the fitness from Wodonga. Having a coach like Twitty, they're going to be fit, and that was evident today. They were running on top of the ground in that last few minutes. They were just unbelievable all day. They kept fighting back, and then as soon as they got a sniff, they just started running all over them.
I'm not sure what the bigger talking point out of this game is. The Wodonga Bulldogs and their amazing win, or the Wangaratta Magpies slumping to 3-0 in a horror loss for the Pies.
Oh, you can split it down the middle, I think, for both teams. It's unbelievable for Wodonga to show that fight, but it's also big question marks on Wang. They've got to get it right. They didn't look up to it today in that last quarter. They ran out of legs, and Wodonga ran all over him. So I don't know if it's a fitness thing. I don't know if it's a personnel gelling thing, but there's definitely questions. But Wodonga, it's all about them tonight.
Certainly is an emphatic win from the Wodonga Bulldogs. One of the best games of footy I've seen on O&M Live. The Wodonga Bulldogs grasping victory from the jaws of defeat. Panda, you're down there at ground level. What's the atmosphere like?
Well, silent from the Wangaratta Magpies camp, but the Wodonga Bulldogs are rightfully pumped up. What did we just see? 5 goals in 9 minutes of football. Yeah. They've won their last 3 here at the Wangaratta Showground, so this is a venue that they're confident at, and that's a wonderful win by the Wodonga Bulldogs. I'm just going to go and try and pick out our player of the day for the second week in a row.
Oh, you can't go past
You can't go past little Jack O'Sullivan.
Little Jack
was absolutely fantastic. Jack O'Sullivan, once again, our Harvey Norman betting player of the day. Talk to us about that comeback. How was the last quarter?
Oh, it was an unbelievable game of footy. They're such a good quality side. They have been for so long. But yeah, we knew coming into the game that we fight, we scrap. The boys show unbelievable ticket every week. We knew if we could stay in the contest that we could will ourselves there. And I think it was just a testament to the boys' attitude, their grit, their grunt and their toughness to get over the line. And it was. We just had to surge the footy on, and a lot of blokes won crucial one-on-ones, and we won stoppage, and we got the ball going forward, and we took our chances, and that's what it comes down to most of the time. So yeah, I think it was just a testament to obviously Wang. They're fantastic, and they pushed us every second of the game. We never felt comfortable, and they probably controlled a fair portion of the game. But yeah, I guess sometimes you can grind your way to a victory, and I think we did, and we might have won a bit ugly, but we're pretty happy with it.
Last one before we let you go. What about your opposite man, Jack O'Sullivan, the second, going forward, kicking 2 big crunch goals in the last quarter?
Yeah, he's super. He's so athletic. He's a big, strong boy, strong through the legs. He's an unbelievable player. We're so lucky to have him. Yeah, looking forward to see what he can do this year.
Jack O'Sullivan, you're a star, mate. 2 times in a row, you've gotten the Dogs over the line. Well done. Congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Blake Escott, boundary sign with our Harvey Norman betting player of the day, little Jack O'Sullivan. What were his numbers on the 40-wing stats?
I've got him down for 33, Gus. He was fantastic today, so...
Remarkable.
Jack O'Sullivan, superstar.
The Bulldogs are going to go inside the camp to sing the song. Panda, we'll get you to tape the song on your phone because we do struggle getting underground here at the Norm Men's Oval. Full time here at the Wangaratta Showgrounds. The Bulldogs have stolen victory from the jaws of defeat against the Wangaratta Magpies, claiming a 4-point win. We'll take a break. We'll get the song on the other side of the break, and we'll catch up with a very happy Wodonga Bulldogs camp. You're with O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. .0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.